Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Okay, so people are telling me good evening. People are telling me that Jesse is going live, y'all. Should I reschedule this for tomorrow? Someone told me to hold off anyway. Let me see. Ooh. You know what? Let's do a call-in show then. And then we'll just do a call-in show. And then, yeah, we'll just reschedule this for tomorrow. Because I don't want to get started. Y'all can vote. Do y'all want this for tomorrow? Or do y'all want this right now? I haven't watched it. That's why I'm like, I kind of want to react now because it's fresh. But listen. So y'all know I haven't watched it, but I went and looked at the comments and I was like, so people are coming at AD and Ashley. Okay, y'all not, some of y'all saying tomorrow, some of y'all saying right now. So let me show y'all what's been going on. First of all, Tyler spoke out on his Instagram saying, if you have a podcast, reach out. I don't care how big or how small, enough is enough. It will be worth it. And I'm comfortable. I came comfortable. I told y'all, listen, let me get in my robe, okay? I'm doing my skincare. Then, hold on. Then Jessie posted to her Instagram. Y'all know we love Jessie over here. She said, now when I cock my camera up and tell them two soft assholes to blend their leave outs for calling me names, will I be the bad guy? I don't even know why I don't know why. Y'all, I'm sorry. I just have to be honest with you. AD does not have the range. I have not even sat down and have watched this yet, but I can tell you already that AD does not have the range to go toe to toe with Jessie. Okay? I'm just being honest. No, that's just me being honest. No shade. I'm just saying, like, girl, you done got yourself in some shit that you can't even handle. Why would she do that? And the reason is because, well, first of all, Jessie does research. Ricky does research. Simone does research. Simone Redwine. They all do research. Now, why would you do that? So I'm going to ask y'all one more again because I can end it all right here. Do you want me to watch it? Or do you want me to wait until Jessie does her video? What y'all want me to do? I feel like I should react because I need to do it fresh without any influence. Because I'm gonna want to watch Jessie. I'm gonna want to watch it. So should I do it? Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. If you leave, you just gonna have to come back and finish it, okay? Because I don't like to be influenced by other influencers, okay? Now, when it comes to this situation, I was keeping up with Ricky. I was keeping up with Jessie. I was keeping up with Simone Redwine because they were, because I was watching the show, but then there were like a bunch of lies coming out. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? And the reason why I really rock with these three women is because they have integrity. And when you come across bloggers that have integrity, they don't just push a narrative or run with a narrative because it suits them and that's the narrative that they want out there. They're not clout chasing. They're not just out here doing things for views. They are reporting or they're talking about things from a place of integrity. I support them. Tisa Tells, Nick at Night, Troy's TV, Speak Chronicles, Impressive TV. You have Lovely T. There are not that many bloggers out here that are really reporting on these topics from a place of integrity. They're not just trying to push a narrative. They are doing real research. So when you come across them, it's just like you got to give respect and credit where credit is due. That's all I'm going to say. Because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to look into things and really deep dive into things and not just have a narrative and just run with the narrative. Like you're gathering the information and then you're creating your opinion. You're not already with an opinion and then you're just grabbing information just based off of the narrative that you want to create. So that's why I really respect Jessie. So for them to come at her like this, let's just get into it. Let's see. Okay, let me pull it up. And then Ashley, I feel like this is just a bad look because, whew, girl, I hope you're not still protecting this man, because if you are, all he have to do is come online and manipulate the situation, come up with some receipts, and you're done. Because you're dealing with a liar. We told you that you were dealing with a liar. So let's see. Okay.
Good. Looking good.
Thank you.
I mean, looking great.
Hold on.
So, I mean, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. My listeners have not stopped begging. When I say begging, I mean begging to have you on this podcast because.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Because what the fuck? No, like everybody's just, we want to know what's going on. I want to know what's going on. And like, to be like completely honest and transparent, we have not spoke at all. No. I mean, obviously some well-wish texts back and forth, but this is the first time I'm sitting face to face with you since reunion.
Yeah.
Catch me up on you.
Yeah.
On everything that you've been up to since I last saw you.
So, well, filing for divorce now.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, same. But in the same breath, it's a good thing I've been counting the days. Yeah, I think like the last few months, it's just been a lot of healing. A lot of emotional fluctuations. I would love to say it's been sunshine and rainbows, because I think sometimes when we know we're doing the right thing, you think it should be easy, it doesn't make it any easier. Mm-hmm. And so, I've just been healing, but also like I'm getting to the stage where I'm reaching the 6-month mark of this divorce, and I've been kind of taking back the power of the word divorce, because anyone who knows me knows it's something I never wanted to do, ever. Mm-hmm. And so I'm changing it from a negative connotation to feeling more liberated and excited for this new beginning. And, I took some time to myself before I even wanted to do a sit down, because I wanted to reflect. I wanted to take time to reflect. And so, also given all of the social media.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think she took enough time. I haven't watched this yet, so I don't really know. But I don't think she took enough time. Honestly, I probably would have waited until the divorce was finalized before speaking out, before saying anything. I probably would have waited until those papers went through, because things get nasty with divorces. And just seeing Tyler already post this to his Instagram, I would have waited. That's just my opinion. I would have waited. I would have waited until it was signed and sealed. But she's already speaking out. And one thing that Ashley has a bad problem with, like this is what would irritate me, was she always would try to prove herself. Like she had this to prove, that she's smart and she knows this and that she did research and she does this and she does that. Like she's always trying to prove herself. So I think the reason why she's speaking out is because she is trying to once again prove herself. I don't think she really spoke out, and she was I don't think she was calculated with this interview. I don't think she has a strategy when it comes to the public at all. I think she's just trying to prove that oh, I'm not the bad girl in this situation. I'm not the bad guy in this situation. It's really just Tyler at this point. So I don't think she used any real strategy before she decided to speak to the public. That's just my opinion. But let's see.
Media vitriol, I was somewhat terrified to be vulnerable and to say anything for fear of it being picked apart and being another tagline after things have kind of calmed down. But then I was like, if I can speak so boldly for a man, I damn sure can speak up for myself. And frankly, I had to change the way I was thinking about things over the last 4 months when I was thinking about how or if I even wanted to say anything.
I also want to say this because it just seems like the pick-me's and mammies are really going through it. And I told y'all that women are going through their own reckoning. I don't know how many times women are going to find themselves in these situations. When you decide to be a pick-me and a mammy for a man, first of all, you're being a pick-me and a mammy for a man who only serves himself. And then you're turning around and you're serving him. And then you find yourself in situations like this. This is another woman that was an enabler to a man that is a liar, hell, a thief. I mean, the women that were coming out and alleging these things about him, yet she was being a mammy, saying, no, he's not like that. Oh, these women are lying, da da da. And now you look like a fool, like you look like a clown, because nobody told you to play that role at all. Nobody told you to do that. Nobody told you to do that. And then you were doing it over a deadbeat. Like, that's even crazier. Like, that's crazier. That's crazier. That's crazier. So, I think when it comes to this interview, I want to hear Ashley just admit that she was being stupid over this man. And at the end of the day, she was enabling his storyline. She was enabling the narrative that he wanted her to push when it comes to the public to protect him. I just want her to be real about it because she is not innocent in this situation at all. I think she was conspiring with him as well when it comes to some of the lies and some of the roles that she played to support his lies. She was a part of that as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if she owns up to any of that. And seeing how Tyler is posting to his Instagram, maybe he will expose that about her. We'll have to see, which is why this was dumb. I don't know why she decided to speak out before finalizing her divorce.
Because I wanted to make sure I was doing this for me and not for anyone else. So yeah, the last 4 months has been a lot of reflection, and I've come to the realization that, people can say whatever and they can have whatever misconceptions they want about me. I think that this is for me to speak to my character, and anything outside of that I can't be bothered with.
Heard. So how has it been kind of transitioning from being married and being married in such a public-facing way to...
Y'all, she's already irritating me, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I keep stopping it. Her character was on display throughout this entire ordeal. And it was because this is when I started removing my empathy for Ashley, because at first I'm like, oh, she just doesn't know the truth. But then it got to a point where it was coming across like she was refusing to know the truth. Like she didn't want to know the truth. She just wanted to blindly be with this man and just wanted the public to support her decision to be with the man, regardless of what the truth was. But the issue was the children. If this would have been a situation where it was between he say, she say, between 2 women, 3 women, or hell, 5 women, I don't think the public would have cared that much. It was the fact that it involved kids. And that is very serious. And so for me, when it comes to her reputation and her character, it was on full display because of how she was choosing to be insensitive to those kids. So people started to remove their empathy for her situation. And then we started to assume that she was supporting the lies that Tyler was telling her. Let's not forget. And that's why she got called a bird. At this point, she's Barney, because at the end of the day, that's what she chose to do. Nobody told you to sit up there and support this man in his lies and then not have any sensitivity towards the kids involved at all. Like, I remember, like, she kept referring to those kids as those kids, he was just a sperm donor. And it's like, girl, you didn't even have to insert yourself in that way at all. You chose to. So now that's a reflection of your own character. It's not about people are perceiving you in a way that is just wrong or it's incorrect. It's how you chose to show up. It's how you chose to put yourself out here. And you didn't think it was going to backfire and blow up in your face. But at the end of the day, people don't care about kids. Kids are innocent. Kids don't even need to be involved in situations like this. So she over here trying to make it seem like, oh, I don't understand why people are just being mean to me and they're perceiving me to be this and to be that. And it was because you was being a big bird in the situation. You allowed this man to come in and you had this empty nest up there for a brain and you allowed him to plant seeds of stupidity and you just ate the shit up. Nobody told you to do that. And then not only that, I still stand by what I said when it comes to Halle Bailey. Like, no, I don't expect for women to just listen and take what the general public is saying. But come on, girl, if this man has been lying to you since day one, has been conspiring with you to lie for him, and then all of this information is coming out, you're telling me you're not a little bit curious? Because a smart woman would be a little curious and would look into it for herself. And if you could have hired a lawyer, you could have hired someone to do a deep dive on Tyler, but you didn't want to. You didn't want to. And I'm tired of, and then this is another thing too. The righteous complex and the God complex needs to be studied, because you have these women with the righteous mindset. They think they're smarter than everyone. They think they can do no wrong. And then you have the men that they find themselves in relationships with that have the God complex, where they feel like they're smarter than everyone, where they feel like they can out manipulate other people and things like that. Y'all wonder why y'all keep ending up in relationships with these men that are manipulators and liars, pathological liars. It's because you have that righteous complex. You have similar characteristics as this pathological liar. I'm already irritated. Hold on. Let me continue. Let me continue, because this is an hour long, y'all. Let me continue.
To now transitioning back to being single.
I will say, if I had to miss one thing about being married, which you'll know soon, it's longevity for you, but like I miss being a part of this like secret wives club. Mm-hmm. Like my friendships like with women who are married, it was a little different because we had conversations that I now can understand. And so even I feel like professionally, people treat you differently slightly when you're married, you have kids. It's almost like you're an adult now. Yeah. So that transition has been different. But I'm someone who thrives single. I lock in and I do all the things. Like, whether it's professionally.
So she was desperate over this man because of a wives club? Are y'all for real? Is she serious? A wives club is why she was acting like that? That's that hive mentality. That's that hive mentality, y'all. That's the only way it makes it. It's the cliquish mentality. She wanted to be a part of the clique. How old are we?
Whether it's working out, whatever it is, I'm happy single. I found how to be comfortable in my skin in my own presence a long time ago. Yeah. So the single life is, come on now.
It does hit a little bit different.
And I feel like we always want what we're not in. Like even my married friends are like, girl, like, you don't have no kids, you don't have to worry about this. But then when you are single, you're like, oh, my married friends. So I think that it's kind of like we always want what we don't have. But I mean, for me, I have a good time. So
I see you in the gym, traveling, you're outside, girls' night.
Yes. So it hasn't been that transition hasn't been that hard for me, especially because we were only married for a year.
Yeah. I think that people want you to look sad and be down, and like people hate to see you trying to grow and heal, and like, so is that weird to like post like, oh, I'm out with my girls on social media, knowing that the world is like, how come she's not down?
Yeah. You know what? This is the type of stuff that really be pissing me off when women be in relationships with niggas that ain't shit. You really want people to be jealous of your situation. Like you have to convince yourself that people want to see you down, single, and miserable, because that's how you view singlehood. But baby, we looking at your situation like you're with a man that is going to cause stress and misfortune over your whole life. It's going to ruin your whole life. How is that someone wishing bad on your situation? Like, that's crazy. And then you sleeping with the enemy. You're laying next to the enemy, but then you're painting out these women that are simply warning you as the villain in the situation. And that's what I be saying. Like, this is definitely bird brain behavior, because y'all make it so easy for these niggas to play in y'all's face. Y'all don't make it challenging at all. You're very simple because you're desperate. You're very simple because you believe that these women want to see you single. These women want to see you miserable. So all a man has to come and do is come to you and tell you everything that you want to hear, lies, and you'll just fall for it. You're not even hard to manipulate. You're not hard to convince. You're not hard to play mind games with. Like, you're not hard. You don't make it challenging, because automatically, like, you're making the women in the situation your biggest op when it's the man. He been lying to you since day one. He's been lying to you. He never even allowed you to have the choice for yourself on whether or not you wanted to deal with him while he continues to live in his truth. So he lied to you. Meanwhile, you got all these women being honest with you about the man that you're choosing, and so you're painting them out to be your enemy? Crazy.
Down and out.
So I took a little bit of a social media break because of that. I remember I posted out with a few of my girlfriends, just like laughing, like whatever, and someone wrote me, "How dare you laugh, the kids?" And I was like, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Like, this is like, it's months later at this point. Mm-hmm. So I still get a little bit of that.
And no, this is where she's starting to gloss over her behavior and what she was out here doing. She was out here sticking up for this man who was lying to her face about those kids. Even when the information came out, it got to a point where you couldn't ignore it anymore, because Bri, the kids' mothers, came out and told you what it was and what it was not. And you decided to still side with him publicly. And so, yeah, people are looking at you like, how disgusting. How can you be out here having fun, doing this and doing that, and then still supporting this man, still being with this man, and then you know that his kids are out here wondering where their dad is. Hello, that's what it was about. Like, I don't like this interview, y'all. I don't like this interview. I don't like this interview. You knew what it was. It was about those kids. It wasn't about you being happy. It was like, how can you sit up here and act like you're not helping a man be a deadbeat and abandon his kids who are wondering where their father is? That's weird. How can you sit back and not feel guilty about that? This is manipulative. This is manipulative as hell. This is so manipulative. This is so manipulative, y'all. And that's what I'm saying. These righteous, complex women are just as manipulative as these God complex. And it's so interesting that these people have these two things in common. It's all about their ego. For the righteous complex woman, it's about her ego. For the God complex man, it's about his ego. And they're manipulative as hell, because she wants to be righteous and then the man wants to be a God. Well, you have two manipulators. That's exactly what we're witnessing.
And you just have to kind of find a balance between, like, this is my life, and if I run it dictated by you all, I will literally be committed.
Yeah, literally. In a dungeon somewhere.
Literally, yeah. So I had to kind of dismiss the opinions of the folk.
Right. Do you feel like you have like a nice support system around you? Like, have your people shown up?
You mean you were skirting around the fact that people were making you feel guilty because you were helping him abandon his kids? Well, you weren't really. Well, no, technically you were helping him abandon his kids because he needed a place to stay. He didn't have no job. He didn't have his own place. He had to stay with you. So you were helping him. You were facilitating a man who was abandoning his kids. You were supporting him. You were enabling him.
Up for you?
My village.
Yeah.
My village goes crazy, girl.
Yeah.
Like, my mom, my friends, they have been like my true anchors in all of this. Rather it's late night phone calls, FaceTimes at 1 a.m. because I have insomnia. So, like, I'll ping them if I need to unpack something. And so, honestly, without them, this would have been way harder. Yeah. Not everybody has that, so I've been really grateful for that, yeah.
Are you doing anything, like, in particular? I know you said you're, like, kind of working out and hanging out with some of your homegirls, but are you doing anything in particular that's, like, helping you get through this whole...
And it's so crazy. She talks about her village and her community, and I'm sure those kids wanted to talk to their father. I'm sure they wanted to FaceTime their father. I'm sure they wanted to call their father. I'm sure they were wondering where their dad was. I wonder what they were going through.
Transition.
Yeah, I mean, besides falling on the floor crying out to Jesus, like, God, but besides that, I started, actually Monica from my season got me a gratitude journal, and it's never been more impactful than it's been, the last few months. It's just part of my daily routine where I just get up and just jotting down those 3 things. Seems so small, but it's so big because it keeps you focused on what's truly important and that there's always something to be grateful for, even in a tornado. So that has been helpful. And then the biggest thing has been, they even pushed me to therapy, child. I never thought I would get therapy, not in a negative way. I've always been an advocate for it, but I've always been like well-adjusted, contrary to belief. My head is on my shoulders. It's still there. That was.
Do y'all hear the righteousness though? I've always been well-adjusted. Do y'all think therapy is going to help her if she doesn't come in and put her ego down? My God. Like that's what, and listen, when you go to therapy, you have an ego death. You come to the realization that yes, you may be a victim of certain things, but you've also been a participant as well when it comes to certain experiences that you have. So you're not all just, oh, I'm a victim. Like you participated in some incidences or in some experiences or scenarios within the trauma that you carry. It's called self-sabotaging. So it's just one of those things where you have to unpack that in therapy. But how can you truly unpack that in therapy if you're going to come in thinking that, oh, I'm not, nothing's wrong with me. Like I've been done wrong. Like that's not what therapy is. Therapy is where you actually go through an ego death and you have to face yourself and the parts about yourself that you don't want to see. But it's necessary in order for you to grow and so that you don't repeat patterns of your past.
Uncharted territory for me, but even my therapist sometimes, which godsend for her, but like she'll just smile at me in some of our like meetings because like I am wise and I'm very self-aware, but she gives me different perspectives on things. And so the biggest thing we've been working on the last few months is forgiveness for myself, not even for him or anyone else, forgiveness for myself, because I'm just someone who like beats myself up when I make mistakes or do something out of the ordinary, and I'm like, I really don't need anyone else to do it. I'm my biggest critic. Trust me. So
was that her way of admitting that she made a mistake when it comes to this whole situation?
Therapy, I think that everyone should go, especially with like large life transitions.
I love my therapist.
Girl,
I got therapy tomorrow, girl.
I got it next week.
Listen, let's talk more LID and just how we got here.
They gonna need it after this.
Everyone.
They gonna need it.
Like the revelation of Tyler coming out with the whole children thing impacted, like in the beginning, all the way up until now, impacted your marriage.
It impacted the marriage immediately. Immediately, because now I have to question the person I'm laying next to. And I think that that's such a scary feeling to not know what's true, what's not true. And like I remember, like I said, I have insomnia. It would be times I'm up at 2 a.m. and I would grab him like, hey, I got another question. Like I need you to, answer this. Of course, he had all the answers at the time.
Right.
But, it kind of shifted everything about us. Like there were marital things as well that, were hardships for us, but like we got along.
Like the fact he didn't have no money and he really didn't have no real stable job.
Really well. And so it was like,
y'all, I'm sorry, but with all the information that came out about Liler, there was, for him to be able to play her for a whole year, that to me is just so incredibly impossible for me to believe. And the reason is because he didn't have no real money. He didn't have no real stable job. There were too many red flags. And she just wanted to be a part of the wives club that she chose to overlook all of that stuff. The kids, the just weird, odd jobs, the fact that he didn't have no real money, the fact that he probably needed to move in with her right away because he had all those eviction notices on his record. Like how much was he able to get away with all of that information? Like it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. Back child support. So that means he couldn't travel with you. You can't go and travel the world with him. So it's like you were so limited on things when it comes to this experience, and you want me to believe that you just did not know at all. It's hard to believe that. It's hard to believe that.
I no longer had that person. And even from the beginning, even when I was still trying to unpack what was true or just all of the things, it still created such a hole between us. And it's like I was being drugged on his behalf as well. So I had this sort of resentment towards him as well in our household. So it shifted everything, you know? And I think that, I mean, it was a time where I had a panic attack. You know, I had 2 panic attacks, but one of the worst ones where I was like in my living room and I went to the bathroom and he saw me. It was like 3 a.m. and he just like held me and I unfolded into his arms while, you know, trying to figure out if this man, like who he was. It was the most toxic.
Post-show airing?
Post-show airing. Okay. It's like it's like in the thick of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the thick of it. And so it literally shifted where we had an enjoyable home into such a toxic and just unhappy kind of situation because he also was depressed as well. But, you know, so it was,
I'm just trying to figure out when this relationship was ever really healthy. Like she's saying it transitioned to this toxic relationship. When was it ever healthy if he was lying to you from the very beginning? And this is my issue with women who have this mindset. It's like y'all try to make it seem like this man played you. You didn't know who he was. And it's like, no, he was showing you who he was. You just didn't want to believe it. You didn't want to believe it. So what made this relationship healthy one minute and then toxic the next? He lied to you day one. He lied to you in the pods. We all watched how he lied to you. And then you helped him lie. And we watched that. So when was this relationship ever just healthy? That's what I want to know. I don't think it was ever healthy at all.
It changed our entire dynamic. It definitely did. We just weren't us anymore. He is a pathological.
He wasn't. You went from living in his fantasy of lies to no longer living in his fantasy of lies. That's it. The relationship that you built with him in the pods on the reality TV show was fake. It was not real at all. It was fake because it was built off lies. So, and this is the thing. I tell women this all the time. Like when you take on a healing journey from a relationship that you were in where a man wasn't honest and he was just manipulating you and he was lying to you. And at one point, I don't know, maybe you just decided to go along with it. You have to come to the realization that that relationship was built off lies, which means you never really had a real relationship with that person. It just makes your healing journey easier to process what you're experiencing. But to still believe that you had something real when it was built off lies, like, that's crazy. I'm not understanding that at all. But okay, I think it's easier to heal when you accept the reality of the situation. Like the relationship was never real. The man lied to me from day one, and I would just move on and heal from there. But to try to make it seem like you had something real, I don't think she's done enough with her healing, in my opinion, because I don't know. You're calling this man a pathological liar and you still think you had a real marriage and relationship? I'm not understanding that.
Pathological liar. Yeah. And I was looking at this man like, who are you? And if we don't have the 2 biggest things in a marriage, which are trust and honesty, then what do we have?
Okay, let's break.
No, she knew about those kids on the show. She didn't know the truth about those kids until after the show. But the interesting thing about Ashley is that she knew about those kids and the producers had her lie about the kids on the show. Because remember, if y'all remember, Jessie Woo had pulled it up and they edited very weird when they sat down and had that conversation and her back was turned and Tyler was leaned on the couch and he was talking to her. And that's when they decided to have that fabricated conversation about those kids. But it wasn't real. It wasn't organic. It was all like a setup for the cameras. So no, like she knew, but she went along with the narrative and that played her in the end. And I don't even know why the producers would even set her up like that. But they're setting her up like that because they trying to get paid. They're trying to create a storyline for their audience so that they can get paid. Why would you go along with that? That just wasn't smart to me.
Break this down for people that might not understand this like 5-part series sperm donor situation. What we saw and what was presented to us is that Tyler was a sperm donor to the children. And then reunion, that's all we know. And then post reunion, it comes out that he was the parent to the twins.
Yes.
Tell me about this 5-part series and what is the truth?
So let's go back a little, right? So when I find out that he's a sperm donor when we're filming, the only thing that he told me on and off camera was that he was a sperm donor, zero complexity around it, right? He even went as far as to tell me like he hadn't seen them in a year or two, like that the mother of the children had him blocked.
And let's also put some things into context. This man was claiming to be a sperm donor with tattoos of these kids on his body. And ladies, if you still falling for that, being naive is very dangerous. I just need y'all to understand how being naive and being gullible is very, very dangerous. You are a danger to yourself and you are a danger to others. If you are still falling for men saying that they are sperm donors when it comes to kids being on their bodies, you are just stupid. Like, there's no other way to explain that other than you're just dumb. Dumb as hell. Dumb as rocks. Just dumb. Seriously, sperm donors don't get tattoos on their bodies of the sperm that they donated. They don't even know the kids' names. Like, seriously. This is crazy ridiculous. Like, if y'all want to buy that, okay, y'all can buy that one, but I'm not buying that bullshit. That's just stupid.
Because she wanted to raise her children with her, lesbian counterpart, who's now her fiance. And so all we knew, even at the reunion, was that he was a sperm donor. Case closed.
To all
3
children, yeah.
And then a little bit before the reunion aired, she came out with her 5-part video series where she was saying it was hard for her to come out about this, but now she's taking back the fact that she said they had never been intimate in any way, but that they actually had for the twins. So once she
was it intimate in a relational way or in
I'm saying intimate as far as like
kids.
intercourse. Yeah, this is how we made the kids. She
But
said
not
it was a
like boyfriend,
one-time thing.
girlfriend.
No, she's like, it was a one-time thing. I was embarrassed just, mentioning it. I can't remember her exact words, but she just goes through, like she's reading a paper and she just goes through like saying, he was a sperm donor for my son, but we had sex to.
And AD, if your podcast is called What's the Reality, why did you not do research for this? Why is AD trying to make it seem like she didn't look at those videos? She didn't even take it in to form her own opinion before sitting down and having this conversation with Ashley. Like, what is this about? And AD, it's really looking like you set Ashley up with this interview because it did not help her. It did not help her at all. You're supposed to be a friend. You're supposed to be a girl's girl. You set her up for a horrible interview. Why would you do that? So now, not only do you look bad, because now you look like you're not credible. You look like you're not credible. You're not trustworthy when it comes to interviewing these people that are on these reality shows. But then also when it comes to Ashley, you're just making her look worse. And if your intent was to kind of like make her look better or be there in support of her as a friend, then this was not the way to do it. This was not the way to do it at all. This was just a bad look on both of you. So now, AD, you just lost credibility when it comes to your platform. Like, why would we trust anyone else that comes to your platform if you're not going to do the proper research? Ugh.
Conceive the twins.
Yeah.
And so this flips everything around because it's like one time she's saying, no, we never had sex, we never had intercourse. And he was saying the same thing. Now she's saying that they did, but only for half. And so, of course, he was.
So you're seeing this post the reunion filming.
After already filmed.
And now you're looking at him. He's looking at you.
Like,
how is he?
Send you to the wolves.
Yeah, how is he back in the sun? What is he saying?
He's saying it's not true. He's saying nothing about it is true. He's even going as far as to say they never had sex at all. And so yeah.
Come on now.
He's standing on it. When I say standing on it, his mom, she's a lot like everybody, his friends, everyone around me. I even tried to get his little niece by herself when I seen her.
Is it true, baby girl?
I was like, your cousins are here, like, just to see if she was like, my other cousin, or anything like that, just to see. No, he's standing on it.
Ashley, but did it make sense to you? Did it make sense to you? What did your ladies? Oh my gosh, this is really irritating me. You're expecting his friends and his family that has no loyalty to you tell you the truth? What does your family think about that? What is your family advising you? What are they telling you when it comes to what was said versus what was out here when it comes to Bri and what she put on the internet versus what Tyler was saying? Why are you going to his family and friends expecting them to be honest with you? Why do women do that? What is your intuition? What is your discernment saying? You're so wise. You're so wise. Then what was your intuition and discernment telling you during this time? You didn't want to believe it. That's what it was. You didn't want to believe it. Point blank period. And I'm pretty sure I don't even want to believe that no one on your side of the family was just, I don't believe that they just went along with that. I don't believe that for a sec. I don't believe that for a sec. I think that they just went along with it for you, in support of you, but not in support of the situation. I don't believe that for 1 second. You telling me your family, so approximately 5 brains, 8 brains, and not one person that's a part of your village was keeping it real with you? I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that for 1 second.
Still to today.
Till today, he is standing on that he did not conceive the twins via sex. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that. That I will say.
Yeah. Okay, so break down the 5 parts a little bit more, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch past.
When did it click where you started to realize that it was a lie? That's what I want to know. Because you was going so hard for this man. You was 10 toes down that he was telling the truth, and we didn't know what we were talking about. Jesse didn't know what she was talking about. Ricky didn't know what she was talking about. Hell, Simone Redwine didn't know what the hell she was talking about. Everybody didn't know what they was talking about, but you knew the truth. So when did you realize that this man was lying to you?
Yeah. 2 seconds of it, because I'm like, this is taking it too far.
Yeah,
this
agreed.
is like Love Is Blind After Dark. Like this don't got shit to do with me. I don't want to.
Yeah,
and it was everywhere. It was everywhere. So if you want to break it down a little bit, or however you feel comfortable telling us, like what all, because you don't need 5 parts to say we had sex.
Yeah, I think she just went from the beginning of how, like, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't remember either, to be honest, I trauma blocked that out. Right. But if I'm not mistaken, she started out just talking about their relationship, how he was her best friend, how he stepped in to help her with the son. Again, admirable. She was going through a divorce with her previous wife, and that he originally was just supposed to be a sperm donor, like / uncle for the son, but then allegedly one night, you know, I guess something happened between them, and it was a one-time thing where
abracadabra.
Yep.
Poof. Yeah.
Twins.
Yeah.
And that, you know, she was basically taking back the fact that they had never had intercourse, and that, you know, she was hard for her to say this because she's always been, you know, she's a mass presenting lesbian, and so she's always been in a lesbian, you know, relationship. Yeah. And so she was just saying, like, this was difficult for her to come out and say, but this is what the truth is, and that she didn't like her kids being referred to as sperm donor children, which, by the way, I thought was the proper term.
Because that's what he said.
That's what he said, and I didn't mean it in a derogatory way or to demean the children or anything. Like,
That's why you should have stayed out of it. That's why you should have stayed out of it. That's what I'm saying. Like, she wants everyone to have so much empathy and compassion for her, but she didn't give a damn about those kids. She didn't give a damn about those kids. She was quick to throw around sperm donor. She was quick to throw that around. But she wants us to be hesitant calling her a bird. Why? You call them a sperm donor. That's why I'm like, be careful about the energy that you put out, because when you put that energy out, you're going to be met with that energy. You called those kids a sperm donor, and then you got called a bird for that because the information was out here. This man was there when they were born at birth. He was holding them. That's crazy. He got them tattooed on his body. And you had the audacity to call them sperm donor kids on worldwide, for people to see that, for them to one day see that. That's disgusting. Like, that's what it really was about. She just seems like she's not telling the truth in this interview. I wouldn't be surprised if Tyler ends back up on Dear Future Wifey podcast. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I was even hoping, like, I hope that kids are cruel.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope no kids see this and are like teasing him in any way. It's nothing wrong with it at all, but I'm just saying, And so she didn't like the way that they were being referred to, and so she just wanted to come out and finally say her truth. It was a lengthy explanation. But needless to say, the end result was her saying he fathered the twins.
Did you actually ever get the truth from this man? Or did you get what you think was the truth?
I found it myself.
Why would you expect the truth to come from a man that lies? Like, this is what be killing me about women. They be like, "Oh, I need closure from a man that's been lying to you and he's been manipulating you and he's been gaslighting you." Why would you go get closure from a man like that?
I didn't get it from him. I found it myself.
This is crazy.
I found the truth myself, yes.
Okay. Is that something you want to share? What is the truth? Because I know I want to know. And I know there was a lot of lies spewed. There was a lot of omitting. What is the truth?
I want to be very careful with my words. And this man by no means deserves any grace from me. And I have every weapon in my arsenal at my disposal to destroy him. But it's just not my style. And so she's while he drugged me in.
So she's still protecting this man like a fool. And I'm telling you, I don't know what Tyler has up his sleeve, but she is a fool. If you was going to come out and speak, girl, you should have just laid it all out here on the table. You still protecting him. Why? That's just stupid. So if Tyler beat you to the punch now, listen, don't come knocking, because now you just hung yourself in this interview. I'm telling you. First of all, you came at Ricky, Jesse, and Simone. The Woo gang is all up and through the comments. Girl, this is bad. And then this is another thing. She was coming at Jesse, Ricky, and all of them. Did you think about the viewers? Like, did you think about regular, everyday people that was watching that shit go down in real time? Did you think about them at all? Because you can have a lot of smoke for Jesse and Ricky and Simone, but then you got to worry about the viewers. What about the Love is Blind fan pages on Facebook? Because they was posting stuff in there too about Liler when he was out here playing you and lying to you. So, girl, and you still protecting him? At this point, listen, whatever she got coming to her, she done brought it on herself. Crazy.
Into this, I don't want him to turn me into someone that I'm not. However, what I will say is there's major complexity around that situation and how the children were conceived. And I think that as a woman, I will take ownership.
Listen, y'all go over there. If y'all want to go over there, y'all go over there. But I'm not going to go over there because I told y'all that I'm going to give y'all my own take on this. So I don't want to be influenced by anybody else. So if y'all want to go over there, go over there. But right now, I'm going to just finish this up.
And I will apologize to the mother of those children for anything that I said that went against anything that she said that was true.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right? So anything that I refuted that was actually true, I apologize because that watered down her story.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But in the same breath, there's so much more to this story than is public knowledge. And because he kept lying, I had to go do my own research. So I had to resort back to old detective habits and search this man's computer. And when I searched that computer, I found the mother lode on more than one thing. Not just this topic. Yes.
Okay, what did you find?
And so what I'll say is, on this topic of the baby mama drama, what I found were a series of Google Meets chats between him and her over the years. And what I will say is they both created such a messy situation by their actions and how they went about things from beginning to end.
Girl, we already knew that. We knew that. We already knew that. You not telling us what we don't already know. Tell us some stuff that we don't know.
And so there is major complexity around how those children were conceived.
Okay. Did she know he was going on the show?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
She knew he was going on the show. To my knowledge, he told me so many things. He told me that, he hadn't seen her or them in years, like 1 or 2 years, I think he said. But in all actuality, he had seen her and the kids the day before he left. So I had no idea about that at all from the start. So
that was on the internet.
This man lied about more than one thing.
Is he a sperm donor or no?
he is a sperm donor for the son. To my knowledge, he fathered the twins.
Okay.
This girl still ain't learned. This girl still has not learned. So you gonna sit up there and say that knowing that their relationship is just unorthodox. It's complex. And then turn around and still put labels on these kids after Bride has spoken out saying that she's uncomfortable with that label, and you go and you do it again. And this is why I tell y'all all the time that, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I don't know how many times I can stress this. If you don't get around people who hold you accountable, if you don't get around people that don't enable your bullshit, they're like, you're just gonna keep enablers around you. People who lie, people who gas you up, like, yeah, girl, for some stupid shit. And then you're going to have a downfall. You're going to ruin your reputation because you don't have people around you keeping it real with you. You don't have people around you calling you out on your bullshit. You have people gassing you up when it comes to your foolishness and your toxic ways in your behavior. And they're going to gas you up to the point where now you out here and you look like a fool and you have ruined your reputation. That's why you have to keep people around you that hold you accountable. Seriously. So, because who did she speak with in her village that told her it was a good idea for her to keep calling those kids, one of those kids, a sperm donor child? That's just stupid. And then this is supposed to be your redemption. Why would you say that? Why would you repeat that again?
To my knowledge.
Like based on facts that you saw and.
Oof. It's difficult to say because.
I'm gonna be so real with you right now. Kind of how we started this interview and how loud and bold you were. And I'm not saying let's dismantle him, but you deserve this platform to speak your truth and make it all make sense.
Yeah.
And I want to give you that space to say what needs to be said. And I don't want you to feel like you have to feel muted or the world is gonna attack you. You've made it through worse.
Yeah.
But I do want you to know that this is a space where, okay, this is Ashley's fucking turn.
Yeah.
This is your turn. You've protected him enough. He didn't protect you. And I'm not saying let's dog him out, but what is the truth? To your comfort level so that we can just get an understanding of where all this stuff came from, why he lied, why you stayed. Like, I just want to be able to piece it together so that you have some peace.
So it was crazy because according to them both, they had never slept together originally before she came out with that 5-part series, which is when it began to unravel. That I was like, wait, I thought you were the homie. Like, you know, I didn't even think this was possible. So till this day, he still tries to say that he was doing regardless of what happened between them two, that's not how the twins were conceived. I don't believe him.
Yeah.
I don't believe him. So, of course, why would I believe him, right? In this instance, when he's lied about so many other things. So that's why I'm trying to be careful with what I say because I don't want to tell his story either. But what I feel is that he did father those twins. And I think that they both were in agreement with that at some point. I'm not really sure why she didn't say it at the beginning and why she came out. I guess she said it was hard for her to, talk about as well. But to my knowledge and the things that I saw, yes, he did.
How messy? Like, how messy? And also, it's like, how do you think you're going to come on a global TV show with all these skeletons in your closet and think no one is going to dig it up? You're lying to your fiance, you're lying to everyone, and thinking that none of this is going to show up. And then how unfortunate to drag you into that.
Yeah, and the thing is, what people don't know, too, is everybody believed him. Like, when it first came out, like, when we had the conversation about the sperm donor on camera, and even when we took a step back and we're talking one-on-one, but the whole camera crew was like crying. People came up to him afterwards and thanked him essentially for his service.
That's so honorable.
For donating, yeah, which it is honorable if that was the case.
Truth, right.
Remember when I told y'all yesterday, I said it's so easy to manipulate women when they don't know themselves and they don't have a mind of their own? She got that group mentality. She got that hive mentality mindset, and it played her. You got to be able to think for yourself. You can't just go off of how other people are reacting and what other people are saying. Do you not have a mind of your own? Do you not think for yourself at all? That's what I'm not understanding. What is honorable about that? And then, is it true? And then, why would you trust reality TV producers? Because according to what came out on social media, they had him delete his Facebook so that there wouldn't be any real evidence. So those producers were just playing in your face. The joke was on Ashley. Everybody knew but Ashley. The whole internet knew but Ashley.
Who knows? Like, who knows even about the son? I don't know.
Right.
You
don't.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't believe anything anymore. So, but,
Never.
that was the thing that I was gripping to when I was defending this man is no way someone would come on global television and do this, because that's just stupid.
Right.
That makes no sense whatsoever
Right.
unless you had a gag order, which you didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Had you had some.
And I need the women to understand that yes, people will do things that don't make sense to you. People will do things that you probably would not do. That is just what they do. So you can't put anything past people. You can't put things past people that you don't know like that. And that was another thing that was killing me. It's like, why are you putting things past a person that you don't really know like that? You're trying to get to know, and there's all these red flags. It's like, why are you choosing to put things past a person that you're trying to get to know, and things are just not making sense? Crazy.
Said gag order.
Baby.
Yeah, but you didn't. So I think that I don't know what did he think was going to happen. And let's say that he did go on because he was like, oh, is it, once in a lifetime opportunity? Because I told him no way should you have went on the show unless your life was in order. But let's just say he did go. To marry me is crazy work.
Right.
To ask for my mom's hand, my hand, to my mom.
Girl, he needed somewhere to stay.
Is crazy work when your life was in such a disarray in more area than one.
So you don't think he was ready for marriage?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
In no way, shape, or form. He should have never went on the show.
And it didn't take you a year in marriage for you to find out that he wasn't ready for marriage, and you still went along with it. This is crazy.
Did he believe he was ready for marriage?
He presented. That's a thing. Like, the man is different.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
scary.
uncharted
Yeah, it's very
territory.
scary.
I don't know how much and in what ways I can say this to get people to grasp. When I said I'm wise and when I said I was intuitive, I wasn't saying that for just throwing good words out there. That's what I usually am. So this was a mind F for me, big time, trying to rationalize how he slipped through the cracks. He presented himself as that man. He presented himself as that man during filming to the point everybody loved him. He's very charismatic.
Right.
Y'all, I don't know about her intuition, but my intuition was going off when they was in bed and he decided to pray with her. And I knew he was bullshit then. Remember? I'm telling you, you got to question men that do everything right. Like everything, they just do it right. Everything is like a performance. It's bullshit. Like, it's so easy. Like, y'all, I was at a wedding and I was meeting this girl's boyfriend and he was just doing everything right, saying everything right. And I was like, he full of shit. It's not hard. It doesn't take me long at all to find that, oh, he's full of shit. He's saying everything right, doing everything right, trying to make it seem like he's this guy, and it's just all bullshit. Who are you really? Can you just be yourself? Because when you're yourself, you don't have to perform. There are no performances. But see, women like performers because women believe in this delusional fantasy, romance, bullshit. So it's so easy to con you. So easy to meet a con artist who's a performer and he's just able to swindle and get his way. You got to start questioning that. When a man is really being real with you, he's going to be nervous. He's going to slip up. He may even do something slightly embarrassing, right? Because he's being truly himself. But when he do everything right and he's perfect, yeah, you gotta start questioning that. You gotta start questioning that. You do. Because he's playing you. But yeah, when he was praying in bed with Ashley, I knew he was full of shit.
And so during filming, he did all these things. He was so kind and he was, he seemed like he was ready for an honest marriage, which is why we jumped out of the plane.
He did everything right.
These leap of faith with each other, locked in, and even over the year of marriage, like, again, we had marital hardships, but we had a good time for the most part, and he didn't present himself as this.
Right.
I had to reflect back to realize, oh, you lied about that, you lied about that, you lied about that. Oh my God, who are you?
Right. Because you guys did seem extremely, like, despite him being the donor and whatever, you guys seem pretty healthy. And were there any red flags that you probably maybe looking back on now see, or maybe we missed?
No, there weren't really any red flags. He was on his P's and Q's while filming, like, for the most part. I don't think I seen a red flag until, like, our first month of marriage.
Yeah.
And by that point,
We're in it.
I'm already in it.
Right.
And I never wanted to get divorced.
Right.
Girl, you meet somebody off a reality TV show and you just, I never wanted to get a divorce. I never wanted to get a divorce. You don't know this man. You met him off a reality TV show. So you decided to do something that was just unorthodox, not normal at all. And so you're seeing the red flags a month in and you're like, I just don't want to get a divorce. Girl, you already signed up for an unorthodox experience. You might as well get the divorce. This is just crazy to me.
So the only thing I could do at that point when I began to see little remnants, because as you know, anything that you say in the pods and anything that you say while filming is law. It is vital that you stick to it because that is what
That's your
determines.
story, yeah.
And that's what determines if I should marry you or not. That's what determines if our lives will flourish together. So there were many assurances that he gave me. Of things he would do and this and that throughout the marriage that when we got in and I was like, okay, this isn't being done. This isn't being done. I'm keeping all the things, my word for the things I said I would do. What about you? But again, I was already married. So I was like, okay, lock in. I'm in this, like, how do I unfortunately build this man up? I thought I was done with that. I thought he was going to come cooked, prepared, utensils, place settings, everything, right? So to know that I now had to help him learn how to be a leader in this marriage on top of us just being married after a little over 40 days was a lot. And I...
Girl, what? Girl, over a reality TV marriage? Wow. Girl, that is nothing but desperation. That is nothing but desperate. You were desperate for this man because he looked a certain way. So you were willing to play that role behind the scenes because he made you look a certain way. And you wanted to be a part of this wives club, this clique, like a little high school girl mentality, and it got you played. So you were willing to be the leader in the marriage as long as he made you look good in front of your little crew of wives. You was cool with that. And I wonder how many other women are out here living that same story. Oof.
I think that when people ask me, like, so what was it? Like, there were a lot of little things that he would do, but that was the extent of what he could do.
Yeah.
And y'all, remember at the reunion when she was like, she was holding his hand and she was speaking for him like she was his mama? Y'all remember that at the reunion when she was taking up for him and she was holding his hand? And I was like, I already knew what role you was playing in that marriage. I already knew you was big mama in the marriage. We already knew.
The little things, I made big things because I wanted him to feel valued.
Appreciate the coffee.
The coffee, the flowers, knowing my coworkers' names at work, and things like that. And the men I've dated in the past who were affluent men just throw you a bag and shut up. He wasn't that way, so it was a breath of fresh air. And I think that I made that the thing I clung to is like
the bare minimum. The bare minimum.
The bare minimum. Which, again, if you're doing the bare minimum along with other things, great.
Yeah.
But that was the extent of what I could do.
Because you can't be a bare minimum and a liar.
That's a double whammy.
You know what? I'm going to stray a little bit because you and I both know how extensive our background checks are for this damn show. Like social media, literal background checks.
Exactly. So the producers knew and they was playing in your face for a storyline.
How did this slip through?
So here's the thing too. Like people were saying,
like Jessie has been saying and bringing to attention, especially when it comes to black women on these reality shows. But y'all trying to make her the villain in the situation when she was really just looking out. Because these producers keep setting up black women when it comes to these relationships. They be knowing the truth about these men, but they keep setting you up with these men for a reaction, for a storyline, for views.
Saying like his mom had pictures and that he had pictures of the kids on his page at one point, and which I did see a screenshot that someone had put up or something that he did once, post the children. However, he had to have deleted all of that. People were like, he deleted it when he got back. That's impossible because if it was still on his page, then they would have picked up on it. He told me that he did tell like the casting producers and whatever, that he was a sperm donor, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's it. And honestly, it's his word against hers, and at this point, because it's no proof if no one was there in the room with you all.
Right.
So I don't think that they looked into it any further past him saying, oh, I was a sperm donor. It's like, oh, great, thank you. And so I think that's how he slipped through, by probably deleting everything, and maybe his mom's page was private on, Facebook or whatever, I don't know. But apparently, like, he was posting them as his children at one point or something.
Christmas pajamas.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah. And that, by the way, that was my first time seeing, he told me during the sperm donor conversation while we were filming, that he didn't have any pictures of them because he wasn't in their lives like that.
And then
like
boom.
that. Right? So when I seen all of this, I was like,
That's so scary.
It's very scary.
It's very scary.
And you still decided to defend him on the reunion?
And I need people to humanize that for a second.
Yeah.
Of where I'm sitting there like, and I think the thing I was clinging to was, there gotta be something here.
What are we humanizing when you decided to defend this man publicly after knowing that information? What are we humanizing? Are we humanizing you or the kids? Is she okay? Like, she wonders why the internet has so much smoke for her. It's what you did to these kids and how we sat back and watched you. So even when you saw the photos of those kids, after he told you that he didn't have any photos of those kids, you know what I'm actually, like, peeping when it comes to her? We're catching her in lies. We catching her in lies because she kept saying, oh, I don't know anything. Oh, I didn't see anything, but I did my research. You saw all of that and you still decided to publicly defend him. You still decided to go on that reunion and defend him like you was his mama. So you knew something wasn't right. You knew something wasn't okay. You knew, but you went along with that.
You know how, like, all the proof can point towards something, but it's like, what if one thing comes out and we find out, I was waiting for whatever this one thing was to pop up to prove, like, him innocent, essentially. Like, I have all brothers.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm a girl's girl to the end of the day, at the end of the day.
So now you started looking for receipts that would prove his innocence over the receipts that was proving that he was a liar?
But I know that someone coming out, especially when they
This
think
is
things gonna
crazy.
happen or whatever, that it could be motive there, right? So I wanted to be sure.
Right.
So I was waiting for this thing to pop because, again, this is global
yeah.
television. There are people in Sweden watching with subtitles.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is, and even they know.
And you was calling them kids sperm donor kids. That's crazy.
They know. So, like, I really was clinging to the fact that no way someone would go on here and lie, like that.
And not even be good at it.
And not even.
You know what's so interesting to me? Even Millie from the proposal swindler, they seeing the truth and still denying it. And it's just like, at what point do we start to hold you accountable because you not wanting to see the truth at this point? You didn't want to see the truth. You didn't want to. The truth kept hitting you in the face, and now you're like, let me look for any innocence for him. Let me look to see if I can find any receipts that will show that he's innocent, because all of these receipts showing that he's a liar and that he's guilty. I'm not trying to see that. Let me just find one piece of evidence that he is an innocent man. Let me just find one piece, and I'm just going to go with that. But all these other receipts that's showing that he's a liar, let me ignore all of that.
Okay, so do you feel like standing by him was more of a pressure from him? Because at the reunion, you stood very strong, which I do still think is honorable, because that is your husband at that point in time. That is your
Honorable?
husband. Do you feel like there was any pressure from him to stay in your marriage and stand so strong by him?
No, I think the pressure was I put it on myself. I think because at that time, I hadn't found the information for myself. I hadn't found out about all the lies yet, because when we filmed the reunion, again, this was...
So she didn't find out all the lies, but she had enough lies. She had some of the lies.
Week or two, like, before the mom of the kids had ever came out saying anything otherwise. So right before the reunion, like the night before, we're in the room, they give us a little wine, like, we're chatting. I remember putting my hands out like this
And I was like, am I sleeping with the enemy? And he said, no, you're not. And I asked
Oh
him,
my.
is there anything that I need to know? Please do not send me to the wolves. And he literally was like, no, they're...
Y'all, this needs to be studied. This no, seriously, all jokes aside, this needs to be studied. Why are you going to the person that you're suspicious of when it comes to them lying to you, thinking that they're just going to be magically honest now? Have you ever lied about something? It could be just a little white lie, right? Even when you were a kid and say you were lying to your parents about your whereabouts, right? And so you lied, right? And you got away with it, right? But then your parents, the following, say, week, they ask you about, where were you last weekend? Are you going to tell them the truth? Or are you going to keep up with that lie because you're trying to get away with the fact that you were somewhere that you were not supposed to be? So why would you go back to the man expecting him to tell you the truth?
There's nothing else you need to know. We're in this together. And that's why I can't wrap my mind around it, because that was the moment for you to be like, this, and you take me or leave me. And he continued. Even when I was drowning, he continued. And so I had that kind of reassurance.
Yep.
Where I was like, okay, we're in this together. Let's do this. And that's why I went out there so boldly and spoke, because why? Again, why? Okay, people are crazy. Yes, we know that. Yeah. But why would someone do that again on a large platform like that?
And ladies, black women, I keep trying to tell you that. I keep trying to tell you, black women, no one cares about you. Like, seriously, you're using your honorable nature, and it's like you're using your honorable nature with people that don't give a fuck about you. How many times do people have to tell you they don't care about that? They don't live by the same morals and principles that you live by. They don't live by integrity. They don't live by you doing the right thing and being righteous. They don't give a damn. How many times do people have to keep showing you that they don't care about you like that? If there's something that they want from you, they're going to try to take it. They're going to try to take advantage of you. You trying to play fair with people that ain't trying to play fair with you? You trying to be at peace with people that ain't trying to be at peace with you? You trying to hold hands with people that ain't trying to hold hands with you? Or you know what? They will hold hands with you because it benefits them for the time being. Like, how many times? And then be like, I don't know how someone could do that to me. I don't know how. I just don't understand why. Like, what are you? Like, are you a child? And you know what? It's because black women are still stuck in this mentality of how the world should be. Nobody gives a fuck but you. Damn. Like, wake the hell up. And it's really pissing me off at this point, because it's just like, how many times do people have to show you that they don't give a damn about how the world should be? Only you do. So you gonna keep letting them play you because you can't let it go? The world is literally moving backwards. It's not moving forwards at all. Like, it's not moving forward at all. At all. So you need to tighten up, and you need to just get it together and get out of this. I don't get how, like, someone could, because he wanted to take advantage of you. He wanted to use you. He only cared about his own image, reputation, and ego. He didn't give a damn about you, and still don't. And you sitting up here protecting him, trying to be fair, because I'm not like that. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm just still gonna take L's. Still gonna take L's. Just still gonna take L's. Trying to be nice. People ain't trying to be nice with you. People are getting what they want, getting what they came for, getting what they feel like they can get. And you just keep giving it to them simply because you don't have no boundaries, no deal breakers. You don't even make people face their consequences and the behaviors and treatments that they had towards you that left you messed up. Like, make it make sense.
Mom is sitting there like, we're all riding for you. Oh, my grandma.
And you gave him the safe space.
And I literally, and I learned that, like, if you make a man feel comfortable, that maybe, they'll feel that vulnerable space to be that with you. And I gave him that. And
still,
after that, we slept together. He cuddled me, everything. And I'm like, that's a different kind of person. you know? So
Oh my God.
I think that if maybe the video would have come out before the reunion, even if I was still with him trying to figure out things for myself, I think I would have navigated the reunion a little differently, because which is why I wanted to have the sperm donor conversation on camera. I think that people can tell when you're not being authentic. Yeah. And so I would have at least said, like, hey, you know, me and him are in a good space right now, but we're working things out. I could have took that path. Right. You didn't even.
He allowed you to be loud, wrong.
I would have been like, sit down, don't do another podcast.
Don't say shit else.
Don't say
shit else. And the thing is, he got quieter and like left you to like literally.
I was getting more than him. Yeah, I was getting more than him for sure, which is hilarious. Because I think that it just...
Baby, because we knew he wasn't shit from day one. I told you he wasn't shit when he was praying with you in bed. So we already knew he wasn't shit. We was just waiting on for you to catch up to the fact that he wasn't. And then it just got to a point where it just got so ridiculous, to the point where we was just like, okay, she's with it. Like, honestly, y'all, just the way she was moving, I was convinced that she's okay with this. Him abandoning his kids, him not having no real job. She was going to support him. She was going to take care of him as long as she was able to be seen a certain way in the public. And she was banking on getting those Love is Blind deals, like the brand deals, and maybe even getting sponsors and things like that. So she was like cool with all of it until it just did not work out for her. So that's what was throwing me. And that's when I started like getting really irritated, and I just really removed my empathy, because I'm just like, I don't even want to support somebody like that. I don't. And I liked Ashley in the beginning. I really thought she had a dope personality. She seemed like she was a really cool girl. She had a down-to-earth type of personality. I really gravitated towards her. But then when she got with this man, she just got stupid. And I've seen this so many times with women that I've grown up with, how they get with a man and they just get stupid. They're not even the same person. Their whole identity changes. Their voice changes. Everything about them. They go from being smart to being stupid. And that's what we witnessed. And I'm tired of seeing that. They get with these men and then they just get dumb. Their whole personality changes. Their identity changes. Everything about them changes. And it's just like the very person that you gravitated towards and you liked, they turn into somebody that you don't even like that. So,
just became a smear campaign, and I was the headliner. And also, he don't know what to say. So I was like, send me, take me. But again, that's just how I am as a friend. That's how I am as a daughter. That's how I am as, with anyone I love. I will go to bat for you if you're being honest. And so on reflection, I do wish that, that video would have came out. And so again, people don't know the timeline of things. So they're like, oh, this aired afterwards. She's still doing this. I'm like, no. You didn't hear me say a peep after that.
Right. What's there to say? How was it watching Tyler be like exposed on TV and the internet and everything?
It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking too, because again, we were living together. We were in the thick of it together, and I was believing the things that he was saying. So to see everything transpiring, it was difficult. And again, that's what caused the discord between us, because I'm also side-eyeing him like, okay.
And see, girl, you could have, if you wasn't so heavily involved and you wasn't narrating things behind the scenes, being the leader in the relationship, which is so interesting that she said that she had to step up and be the leader in the marriage. So that means you was the leader when it came to covering up his bullshit and his mess, right? So you were the one you was helping him strategize to spin the things that were coming out, right? Yep, that's what you were doing. And then it's also interesting too that when it comes to the situation, if she would have just stepped aside and let this man deal with it instead of you jump in front of him like you did at the reunion, then it could have been, oh, none of that, like him getting exposed, that don't have nothing to do with me. That's all on him. That don't have nothing to do with me. But you can't do that because you were so heavily involved that you were trying to protect him so much that you can't even separate from the fact that he was getting exposed online. Because to be honest, y'all, this really don't have nothing to do with Ashley. This don't got nothing to do with Ashley. This has to do with Tyler. But because she inserted herself, then she was the one that was receiving a lot of the backlash as well, because you decided to insert yourself in that mess. And then you were speaking you were speaking on the situation as if you were a witness, as if you were there, as if you could vouch for his behavior and the things that he were doing because you was there when it happened. That's what was so crazy. So yeah, of course you were getting a lot of the backlash because you heavily decided to put yourself in the middle of this whole thing with him and Bry and his children and the women from his past. Nobody told you to do that. Nobody told you to do that. So, okay, you want to jump in front? You want to protect? Well, you're going to have to take the heat that comes with that.
God, it was so much. It wasn't just a child thing. It was so many different things that, and again, I don't want to say the child thing because they love to crucify me for how I refer to the children. So, it wasn't just that, it was so many things. And so, people were running my job. They were trying to get me fired. So to see all of these things happening, and even him, someone I loved at the time, it was sad. It was sad. It was just, my emotions were all.
Yeah, she made herself unlikable.
If at all during this time?
None. Besides him, like I said, holding me when I had panic attacks, being in the house. I remember one time this man said to me, I don't have the emotional capacity to be there for you right now. I said, what?
Don't piss me off.
This is the end too. This is like around the end, right? I'm like, what you mean? You don't have the emotional capacity to be there for me. He gave up, essentially. Like, it was one point, like, his job to, like, put him on a performance review and everything because he was giving up. I didn't have the luxury to do that. I had to show up at work every day. I also know they see this stuff.
Right.
I didn't have the luxury to do that. So girl, you cannot convince me that this was not pure desperation. You cannot convince me that that's not what it was. And it has something to do with her friend group and wanting to be with that clique of married women. Mix that in with desperation. That's all that this is. That's all that this is. And I'm pretty sure that her friends probably didn't even know everything that was going on. She was probably lying to them too. I wouldn't even be surprised because she was probably trying to save face.
And I can't give up right now. So when at that time where I needed him to pour into me because I was going and I was fighting for you, and you say something like that to me, the house was in
shambles,
chaos.
Yeah.
That's why when people were saying like, oh, this and that, I'm like, just because I'm not publicly telling you what's going on in these walls does not mean there's not anything going on.
Oh, girl, we knew there was a lot going on behind the scenes. We knew you was the one that was trying to save face. We already knew. Just like we know with Jasmine Brown. We know y'all going through it with these men because we see through them. You the one that seemed to have an issue with that. It's like, and that's the thing. It's like y'all be getting with these men and y'all be trying to prop them up like they're this and they're that. And it's like, girl, do you not understand? We can see his ass. We see him. We know he ain't shit. We can see it. We can just see it in the way that he treats you. We can see it in the way that he carries himself. Because he literally threw you to the wolves. Like, he just like, here, take it. Because I can't. And I'm sure Tyler was just sitting back, just loving the fact that she was getting majority of the heat. But, I mean, when you throw yourself in front of him like that publicly, that's just what comes with it. Like, he had the perfect setup. He had this woman protecting him, defending him. Hell, you was the man in the relationship. That's the role you chose to play.
It was, like I was ripping him a new one almost daily, trying to figure out. When I realized, he really won't, I said, I'll find it myself.
When did your discernment kick in? Like, when were you like, enough is enough?
Y'all, I just have to stop again. Tyler, the whole time he was playing her, he probably thought that she was just stupid. She's a really nice. Remember when he put out a statement and he was saying something along the lines that Ashley is a really nice girl. She's a really sweet girl. Yeah. You know what he was really saying? She's a really dumb girl and she's easy to work over and she defends me. She protects me. She doesn't really hold me accountable. I'm able to get away with so much. Just a big mama. That's what a big mama. A big mama. Crazy.
I think after the reunion,
he had a prayer warrior.
When she came out with that video, I didn't have the proof. And with a liar like him, you need proof.
Yeah.
I remember when they were saying, okay, so the kids' names, the twins had his last name. And the twins had his last names, but she went to go change it to hers. And it was like a public record, like document. And I remember asking him about it. He was like, he had no idea that the twins like had his last name. Like, So when I did my computer search, I went through his email and saw he signed off on it and sent them
You mean you was watching Jesse Woo's live? Come on now. You mean you was watching Jesse and Ricky break the story? Come on now. You mean you was sitting up watching Simone Redwine pull up the court documents? Come on now. Come on now. You mean you was sitting back probably in the bathroom on the toilet pretending like you in the bathroom, or you in the shower and you scrolling on your phone, probably got an earpiece in listening to Jesse and them break all of this down for you? Come on now. 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 Where did you get that information from, sis?
A document back to her email. So I kid you not, I pull out my phone and I say, so what is this? He said, I didn't sign that. I said, someone hacked your email.
Oh my God.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's in his face. It's right
yeah.
here. And I'm did someone hack your
And then
email?
what?
He was like, I don't know. So I asked him later on, why lie when it's in your face? He's like, I didn't want to make matters worse. It's already as bad as
It can't get no worse than this. Yeah.
You're sleeping in the living room.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping in my room because I had to give him a 30-day notice. So like, this is already where, you know,
30-day
to be, and you still lied with it in your face.
So baby, that was your house. Yo, this is crazy. So that means a month into the marriage, she knew he didn't have shit. So you got to give this man a 30-day notice, because you can't just kick him out. That's why I was like, y'all, it didn't take her no damn year. It didn't take Jesse and them coming on social media. It did not. It didn't. She wants to make it seem like it was Jesse and it was Ricky and it was all of them. And it's like, girl, you knew this man wasn't shit the first month into the marriage, and you knew he didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to pour it out of. And it was because he didn't have no money. He didn't have nowhere to stay.
That's when I knew he was a lost cause in my relationship.
How did you approach the decision to go public with your relationship?
So I knew that I kind of wanted to just put out a blanket statement for now, because I, again, was still in my healing process, and we have been separated for quite some time by that point. So I didn't tell him that I was coming out, you know, with a statement at all. I wanted him to be blindsided like I was, right? So I just set everything up, and we released the statement to people, and I hopped on a flight to Turks and did an untap and a reset, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was it, yeah. And I just, from that point on, I know he was pissed, because again, it probably blindsided him, and I didn't care about that, obviously.
Did he reach out?
No, he didn't. What could one say? But yeah.
What?
I was gonna say no, but I think his punishment was just making the divorce hard by not answering my lawyers and just waiting to the last minute, missing deadlines and things like that after I moved like that.
Okay.
I think he was probably like, oh, I got one for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which is why you should have handled your business. You should have been moving in silence. I wouldn't told the public nothing until that divorce was finalized. I would have came out with a tell all. I wouldn't have done no AD interview, because AD don't have the range for this type of interview. But I would have sat down. I probably would have got paid for the interview. You think AD paid her for this interview? No. She didn't pay Ashley for this interview. So I would have got paid. I would have made something out of it. And then Ashley, you know, you could have really recovered from this. You could be getting the sponsors. You could be getting the brand deals. But you know what? You're not going to get that shit because of how you decided to do this interview. And your friend AD set your ass up. Because I would have had it all laid out for you to the point where you could have been sitting so motherfucking pretty. And you would have got some brand deals, some sponsorships, something. Because you've been through so much. But because you decided to sit down with AD that literally does not have the range to conduct this type of interview, you just played yourself not once, not twice, but now for a third time. She is not going to recover from this, y'all. I'm sorry. She's not. And AD pretty much played Ashley because she was trying to look out for her brand. She was trying to look out for her platform. She was trying to look out for how this was going to make her look. But then it also backfired on AD because AD didn't do the proper research. Crazy. And how much you want to bet? Tyler's going to try to spin this somehow. He's going to try to spin it somehow, but people not believing him. We already know he's a pathological liar. That's why he got the nickname Liar. But you could have came out a little bit sweeter than this, but maybe that's just part of your karma. It wasn't meant for you to come out sweet. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm just mad. This is the angle. This is the approach that you decided to take. You could have got paid really well for this tell all, and you decided to do this because you did what was comfortable. What was comfortable. And can we also talk about how when it comes to these quote unquote safe spaces, it's bullshit, because these safe spaces is spaces for people to not be accountable and honest. And that's what these safe spaces are. So like whenever somebody was like, oh, but I wanted to do an interview in a safe space. You mean a space where people are not going to ask you those hard, tough, accountable questions to where you would actually have to face the things that you were out here doing, enabling, condoning, supporting, et cetera, the things that you were saying. I'm tired of that whole safe space, like safe space. You mean the space where bullshit can be facilitated and you're going to be well supported? I'm tired of that. I'm so tired of that. Them safe spaces to me is just bullshit. You don't want to face. And the reason why I don't like it is because adults will go out here and say, I'm grown. I'm 36 years old, and then you can't even answer for your own behavior, your own choices, and the things that you decided to say. You chose to say those things. You chose to go on this reality TV show. Nobody told you to sign up for that. You chose to stay in this situation. You chose to defend this man publicly. These are things that you actively chose to do, and now you don't want to answer for them? Then why the hell did you do it? That's what I don't understand about grown people. People be like, I'm grown. But as soon as somebody say, hey, why did you do X, Y, and Z last Tuesday? And then you're like, why are you asking me that? Or I don't feel like I should have to answer that. Then why the hell did you do that shit? That's what I don't understand. Like, if you can't answer for the things that you do, why do them? If somebody confronts you on something you said or something that you did, why can't you own up to that if you did it? That's part of ownership when it comes to who you are and how you show up and how you're out here moving. I don't get that. That is just, I don't understand. Did your parents not hold you accountable when you were younger? Did they not discipline you when it came to your actions and choices? Why do adults always run from what they did, what they said? I don't get that. I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all.
I'm gonna drag it.
Yeah.
So are you guys divorced?
My 6-month mark is next week.
Okay.
So then I can file on May 21st at 11:59 p.m.
Come on, 11:59.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And
She's not counting anything.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you nervous to see how people would react to the breakup announcement, and what has the response been like?
Yeah, I was nervous, especially, again, like, I really don't think people know. I think that people think when we sign up for these reality shows that we just become a star, right? No, we don't. Like, we're still just very normal people. And so my nerves were ragged, honestly, because I knew that it was going to be a headline again.
Well, people were preying on your downfall.
They were praying, even, oh, we told you so.
In the most cruel, disgusting a way I have ever seen people prey on someone. And it came from, again, inside the house.
Yes, it did.
And I don't want to say no one's name in particular, but there is a very loud presence on the internet that just, it was almost like she was just sitting there waiting,
checking.
You know exactly what I'm
checking
talking
daily.
about.
Yes. Checking daily.
Waiting.
Yeah. I think that they kept hiding behind the fact that it was for the kids. It was for the kids to justify how they were. And that's the thing.
Y'all, listen, I know Jessie. One thing about Jessie, she's the energizing bunny. I know they did not sit up here and say this shit. I know they did not. And then the interesting thing about Ashley, right, is that we know she a bird brain, right? So the information that she got about Tyler, she got from Jessie. How can you say that the woman that you got the information from is preying on your downfall when the information that you got that you're utilizing to have a backbone today, how can you say that she was preying on your downfall? You wouldn't even have a backbone today if it wasn't for all the information that Jessie and Ricky was out here putting out. Because we all know you was in that bathroom with the shower running on her lives trying to keep up with all the information, or you was sitting outside in your apartment parking lot, wherever you were, watching the live streams, trying to figure out what was going on. because you knew you couldn't trust this man. We knew you was watching. We knew you was keeping up. We know that you know Jesse's name. We know, because she was putting you up on game. So how can you turn around and say she was wishing on your downfall when she is the one that actually gave you the information that you needed to walk away from this relationship? And then how you gonna say that she was preying on your downfall? This man was preying on your downfall. But he decided to marry you and say, I do. He was preying on your downfall. He has ruined your life. He has ruined your reputation. Why are you putting this on Jesse when she helped you? You didn't know those kids had the same last name as Tyler. She told you. Her platform told you. That's how you found out. And then I already knew. I don't like AD. That's why I don't follow her. I don't support her. I don't support nothing that she does. And then also this platform that she has, it's Love is Blind coded, meaning this platform was given to her by Love is Blind. Just look at the background. Doesn't the background look like Love is Blind? So wherever she's recording in is probably paid by Love is Blind. Just look at the background. It's all a setup. So she's with Love is Blind. So if you wanted to know where does AD stand, she stands with Love is Blind. And Love is Blind don't fuck with black women like that. That's why they keep ending up in situations like this. And so Jessie has been bringing that to the forefront. She's been bringing awareness to how black women are being done on these reality shows. And so here AD is a coon, because she gets this platform and she gets to host reality TV people that have been on Love is Blind or whatever the case under the same franchise. They get to shuttle them into her platform that they are also controlling from behind the scenes because it's corporate. And then she gets to get the interviews. That's all that is. That's all that is. So she's just a sellout to me. That's all. She's just a sellout. And she's getting the opportunity from Love is Blind. So I wouldn't expect nothing to really come of her platform because it's corporate. And it's all under the same franchise as Love is Blind. So that's it. That's it. So we're never going to get anything real over there. We're going to get what's corporate over there. You get what I'm saying? And they don't like how Jessie gives real and AD is going to give corporate. That's all. So her loyalty is with Love is Blind, the franchise, and Netflix. That's it. That's all that is.
They were coming at me more than him.
Yeah.
Like I can't rationalize that because it doesn't make sense to
Just
me.
because you were so
But
bold.
but even in that, right?
Yeah.
It's still not my act.
It's not.
You know what I mean? And although,
She wasn't bold. She was stupid.
people were saying like it wasn't my problem. It was because this is someone I was choosing
It's your
to
husband,
believe
yeah.
in, someone that was supposed to protect me, and someone that vowed to. So at that time, I'm still navigating my relationship being in shambles and the social media hate at once.
And it's, what's so crazy about this? This is exactly this situation right here. This whole setup, this energy is why being a girl's girl will never work. Being a sisterhood, girls code, girl code, all of that shit is just bullshit to me. Because all it takes is a liar, a pathological liar, having ass men to come in and dismantle that shit. That's all it takes. It don't take much. It doesn't take an army of men to do it. It only takes one man who is playing one woman to dismantle the sisterhood, girl code, and girl's girl. Women's empowerment. Why do y'all have so much smoke for this woman? She has so much smoke for Jesse, but don't even have the same smoke for the man. The man that came in and ruined your life and your reputation. That's crazy. That's just crazy to me.
I'm spiraling, and on top of that, I wasn't seeing everything on social media because I had to have my friends running my social media for a moment so I could untap, because it was literally about to be my undoing. Like, it was that bad. Like, girl, I was in
So
the
people
lowest.
are saying that they're making videos to protect the kids, or what?
They're just, I guess they're saying like, this is about the kids. Like we're digging so hard because it's it's about the children, but it stopped being about the children a long time ago, and it started being about clickbait to me.
Okay.
And I think that by them hiding behind that, it could mask what was really going on, which was a takedown for him and me. Which,
baby, I listen. That is so, y'all. That is bullshit. I'm sorry, it's bullshit. Clicks and views are not hard to get, especially when it comes to reality TV shows and things like that. You can get clout and clicks and views off lies. Those women were putting out the truth. So the clicks and views that they were getting were over the truth. There are so many channels that get views, clout, and all type of stuff, and they spread false information all day. Those women over there had integrity with the information that they were putting out. So the clicks and the views that they were getting was based off of the truth. That's it. And you didn't like that. So a takedown? Like, what are you talking about? And then I just can't take AD serious at all because she didn't do any type of research. So how can you discredit the work that they were doing over there when AD, you yourself didn't even look into anything? This is just, And ladies, this is why I said women are going through their own reckoning. And you're starting to see that a lot of these women are ego driven, just like these men. It just looks differently. But they mirror the same behavior and characteristics as these men. And it's disgusting. And then she's trying to make it seem like it's not about the kids. Then what is it about? It's been about these kids since day one. It's been about these kids since sperm donor left his lips.
okay,
Why are we so passionate about other people's business like that to the point where it needs to be hurtful? There's so many things that I saw. I was like, how is this helpful?
It was the most dehumanizing experience of my life.
How is this helpful?
It's so crazy how the truth is so hurtful and so dehumanizing, but the one to blame is Jesse and Ricky and Simone. And do y'all see why these men are not held accountable? Because you got birds like this that don't even know where to apply the smoke. You're applying the smoke to the woman. You're not applying the smoke to the man. This is crazy to me. This is crazy. I know y'all not about to sit up here and put all of this on a woman who was looking out and was bringing you the truth regarding a pathological liar. Do you hear yourself in what you're saying? And then AD co-signing it. It's like two birds having a conversation. Chirp, 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 chirp. That's all we hearing. Do you not hear yourself? Do y'all not hear what y'all saying? Y'all are mad at a platform that was putting out the truth, not lies, putting out the truth. You're mad at that platform. And this man that you're speaking about right now, trying to paint yourself as the victim, he's a pathological liar. Oh my God. Like, y'all, this cannot be real. This cannot be real. This cannot be real. This cannot be real. This cannot be real, y'all. Wow. This is crazy.
It wasn't.
This is crazy.
This is honestly, the information that came out, the sadder I felt for the children for when they get to Google. You know what I mean? And if we're talking about heart here and we're talking about actually caring, that's sad, And I think there could have been a way to go about this. Even the women who were saying, we're just doing this because we wanted more for you. Like, especially women of color. We want, don't y'all think I wanted a win for us? Don't you think?
What'd I say to you?
See, this is a bird talking, y'all. Wait a minute. This is a bird talking. We got to decode what the fuck she talking about. You didn't think I wanted this to be a win for us? You mean you wanted to win the man? Because you could have still won leaving the man behind. But the win in your head as a bird is the man got to come with me. Any means necessary, all costs. Like, I'm taking the man with me. That's how I'm winning. No, you lost. You lost. You still could have won if you would have walked away from the situation. I can't believe she stood up here and said this, y'all. I cannot believe she stood up here and said this. Talking about, you don't think I wanted this win for us? What kind of win? You didn't win shit. At all. This is embarrassing. Hold on. Let me see. And this is where we not going to be on the same page. Hold on. This is where we not going to be on the same page. And I knew this divide was happening. She thinks winning is getting the man at all costs. When for me and women like myself and my platform, winning is choosing ourselves and not allowing someone to string us along or stay in a situation that no longer serves us. We still believe and know that we're winning when we walk away from situations like that. The win is not based off of if you get the man or not. The win is based in if you love yourself and you walk away. Crazy.
We wanted more for you, like, you know, especially women of color. We want. Don't y'all think I wanted a win for us? Don't you think?
What I say to you at the beginning?
Listen, sure did. A win is a win.
A
A win is a win. That's why I'm happy for you, girl. Because look, you win, we win, I win, we all win, right?
Yeah.
How are you winning and a man is making you look like a fool on national television? How are you winning? How? Where's the win at? And then not only that, this man embarrassed you in front of your family, your friends, the whole world. Where is the win? And then AD co-signing this foolishness. Like, this is just, do you see why enablers are dangerous to your success in life? Do you see how they are dangerous to your reputation? Do you see how they're dangerous to your image? Because, girl, hell no. This remind me of Brittany Taylor. Oh, my God. When she was in her situation, I had to tell her on several occasions. I'm just like, no, we not doing that. No, don't do that. Nope. Keeping it real with her. Because I'm like, they going to eat your ass up if you were to do that. Literally. I'm like, you going to have to take some accountability. You can't put the blame all on one person. Like, had to tell her the truth. People say, oh, it's being mean. No, I know who gonna be mean. The internet is about to put your ass on fire. So I'm gonna be real with you right now. And you may think it's me being mean, but I'm being real as hell with you. Do not do that. But AD, she's a girl's girl. So she's just gonna tell you whatever you want to hear. And she's just like, okay, yeah. This is a win for us. This is a win for us, even though you look like a damn fool. Oh my gosh.
I wore the culture on my back when I was filming. I made sure I didn't act ignorant. I made sure I represented myself.
Girl, you had that man on your back. This don't got nothing to do with black culture, black women. No. You, if anything, you had black male culture on your back. Cause you was supporting the foolishness. No, this is not on the culture. No. Absolutely not. You did not represent the culture at all. You represented yourself in the foolishness that came with that man, and that is it.
Classy, educated, all of the things, and that was dismissed because of a man, which I hate that was what tainted
your image.
my image.
Yeah.
If it's me, cool.
Yeah.
You don't like me for you did not like me for me.
Right.
You didn't like me because of my counterpart. So yeah, when it came to the social media stuff, it was so dark. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced in my actual life. And the saddest part about it, AD, is that they would say the most evil things, wish things on my unborn children, and they would go eat, marry, go to sleep, snore, and I would be up at night.
Sick.
For months.
Yeah.
For months. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Girl, you was up at night because of that man. You wasn't eating because of that man. This is crazy. And she spoke on Tyler for such a short period of time. Listen, at this point, Tyler, you can come out and say whatever the fuck you want to say. I ain't gonna have no issue with it. You can come out and just nail her to the cross. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't give two fucks. I wouldn't care. She wanna support this man, put him on his back, put him on her back, then cool. Then you gonna take whatever come with that. Take whatever come with that. At this point, I'm gonna just sit back and watch to see what Tyler has to say at this point. Because she only spoke about Tyler for what, y'all? 15 minutes? If 15 minutes she spoke about Tyler, maybe in detail. Like we're 44 minutes in, and this is all about Jessie and her platform.
Thank you for the weight loss. But that's about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was, and again, they didn't even know what they were doing because as you guys were dragging me, the only person on the planet who understood what I was going through was the person who was doing it to me. So then comes that trauma bond between us because I'm letting this man hold me and he's actually essentially my captor.
Right.
What I also want to talk about is, let's say those who did think that they were trying to help me or we wanted better for you. It's the delivery. You guys can't think that you could berate someone like that on a daily and then say, well, we just wanted.
We tried to tell
you. Would
you.
you talk to your sister like that, your friend like that? No, you would not.
You know what's sickening?
The hell I wouldn't. If she was acting stupid, I would. The hell? Talking to her normal is not. It's not clicking. It ain't clicking. She acting stupid because this man done got in her head. So yeah, I would talk to her exactly like that. Because we know how y'all get when these men get in y'all head. Y'all start sleeping together. Y'all just act dumb. So yeah, we would have. I'm like, girl, snap out of it. Snap out of it. I've even had a falling out with a friend over a dusty. Like seriously, I have. I'm just like, girl, why? And then when he did her wrong and did her in, she came crawling back. You were right. It's not about being right. It was about being real with you and being a real friend. That's what I'm like, women. And see, this part, men are like, women can't handle the truth. It sound like it, don't it? It sound like it. It sound like it. Two things can be true at the same time, I guess. Two things can be true at the same time. Y'all can't handle the truth. It's crazy. On one hand, men don't want to give you the truth because they can't get their way with you. And then on another hand, you don't want the truth. Oh my goodness. This is crazy, y'all.
Is the show, by the time the show came out, it was a year already had passed. So people are yelling, screaming at the TV, talking about, we're trying to save you.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm already in it. Girl, I'm married.
Don't
You're
go
not
down
helping
now.
me.
Too late.
And it's so weird that people can't like calculate a timeline to save their lives. Well, we tried to tell you not to marry him. When?
Yeah.
When I was filming a year ago,
Yeah.
you were trying to what am I to do now?
Yeah.
And how is this helpful? I think that we have such a battle with, again, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to tell you.
Girl, when you got engaged, I went to your page and commented or something. I got attacked in your comments. I'm like, bro, all I'm saying is congrats. Like, you know, and they're like, oh, or no, it was another post when I commented on Marissa and Alex's video about it coming from the inside. This doesn't refer to you.
This one's not for you.
How ain't it?
This one's not for you.
I think that I could speak to it the most.
Come on.
Right?
Come on.
So they're like, oh, you don't get to do you know, you stood by Debbie and did.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's on me.
Yeah.
I gotta hold that.
Yeah.
Not you.
Right.
Okay, well then you should be understanding of why people are not really rocking with you. They've lost respect for you. That's what happens when you link yourself to a man and you enable his bullshit and you allow him to ruin your reputation because you decided to jump in front during the reunion. You decided to jump in front and protect him. So now you're a part of that. Where's the ownership in what you chose to do? And see, this is why the internet is responding in the way that they are. It's because of your outlook and what you're choosing to ignore and what you're not choosing to own about yourself.
I have to do the forgiveness from the inside.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I know that. But I think that, again, if the people, for the ones who really are like, girl, we were just so disappointed in you. Cool. But you really don't know me. You know, you guys think you do because you watch a show, you don't know me. I've made great decisions for 32 years before that show had it.
How can you sit up here and say, I did it for the culture, and then you can't even take somebody saying that they were disappointed in you? If you were representing the culture, oh girl, this is a win for us. Okay, and you fucked up and did some stupid shit, and then now that the culture is holding you accountable, it's like, oh no, this is on me. I need to work on this for myself. I need to forgive myself. So how do you insert yourself to be a representative, but then when people are holding you accountable, you can't take the heat? That don't make sense to me. That don't make sense to me at all.
You know what I mean? But they don't know that. And so they crucify me for a blip in time. And I think that the biggest thing is because I was so loud and so bold when I was speaking on behalf, but that's the way I love. I can't help it. Like,
that for me was like really sad because I just know as women and as Black women, and this is something that I have just said on repeat and repeat and repeat on this couch, but like the way we protect these men, and it's just like I can see it in my head. You just like some of the things that you were saying, like some of y'all never been married and it shows. Like you want to protect yourself, you want to protect your man, and he just got quieter and quivered in the corner.
And so I'm glad you said that because even in that statement, they were like, oh, look who's single now. Like you said, some of us haven't been married and it shows, but it's like, go back to that interview when I said that. What I meant by that was Some of y'all haven't been married and it shows because you're expecting me to just up and bounce immediately. But if it was your real marriage, non-show related, that is not.
Girl, this ain't no real marriage. This was a marriage that happened on a reality TV show. You were only with that man for a year, and day one, he was lying to you. So that means you don't even know this man. Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
You would follow that man to court and stand beside him in a nice suit, I hope. And you would stand beside him and support him until it was time for you to walk away.
She's comparing a marriage that she was in for 1 year. She said the first month in her marriage, she knew that it was all smoke and mirrors. But then not only that, you're comparing a marriage to people that probably have history, like they dated traditionally in the traditional sense. They probably were in a relationship before they got into their marriage. Why are you comparing your little fake marriage to some real shit? I'm just not understanding that. Like, where's the disconnect? Where is the disconnect? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. There are women in marriages that have real history with the men that they are married to. You don't have no real history with Tyler. So much so to the point you're learning more about his history and you're learning that he's a pathological liar. That's how much you didn't know this man. How are you comparing your little fake marriage, your little 1 year marriage to women who've been married, dated the man, was courted by the man? How can you compare your marriage to that? That's crazy to me. That's crazy. That's delusional though. I mean, when you live in this delusion, I can see how you think that you can compare your marriage to something like that. That's crazy.
That's what you would do. But it's like they don't think the love is real from Love is Blind, but it is. It was for me.
It's real.
You know, it was for me. So it's like when I said some of y'all haven't been married in the shows, it wasn't a dig at single women. I love being single. I want love and I want marriage too, but I'm not an unhappy single person. So that was projection.
Yeah.
You right?
No, girl, you said that from your ego because you were married, you were part of the wives club, and you thought that you were better now than single women. It happens all the time, especially when it comes to the righteous complex with women. It happens all the time. You thought you were winning, you were sitting pretty, and then you can't convince me that in this marriage that you weren't trying to save face, because you could turn around and take a dig at single women and then go home and pay the bills. Go home and be the leader in your marriage. That is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, it was a dig at single women and it backfired and it blew up in her face. Just own that shit. Don't say, well, this is what I meant. No, you said exactly what you meant when you said it. And it was to dig at single women. That's all. Hold that. Be accountable for what you said. Don't go back on it now.
Right? So it's like when they said that, I think that it was another thing to tear me down about. It was another thing to just run with. And I swear, whenever I would correct them, they would stick with the narrative that they came up with. And even in some comments, I was like, that's not what I meant by that. If you felt attacked by that, that is a personal problem. Yeah. What I meant by that is if this man was my boyfriend, see ya.
Right. This is my husband.
Immediately do.
Right.
I don't care if it's true or not.
I don't care.
That's not drama.
Right.
To be honest, y'all, she act like Tyler. She do. That's manipulation. When I tried to correct them, what do you mean correct? You said exactly what you said in the way that you said it because that's what you meant. That's what you meant. That is what she been hanging around this man so long. She done picked up his ways, or did she already have these ways before she got into this relationship? Because she's sharing some characteristics. She was like, "Oh no, that's like how Tyler. You can show him what the truth is, and he'll deny it to your face. Like, no, that's not true. No, that's true." So then you're sitting here doing the same thing to us when it comes to that time where you were and how you were going so hard for Tyler, how you was protecting him, and how you decided to say that. And so now you're saying, no, that's not what it was. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Or is that gotta go? Like, you know what I mean? Right. Because you're a boyfriend. This was someone
I think so too.
My faith is important to me. We said this before God. I had to see it through, my guy. I had to see it through.
Have you spoken to him in the past few months at all?
No. The last time. Well,
remember when I said that these religious women are not talking to God, they talking to their ego? Remember when? Yes, that's gaslighting. Remember when I told y'all that these women are not talking to God, they talking to their ego? Remember I said that? I got to see it through. I got to see it. God didn't tell you to see this situation through. Your ego did. Your ego did. I keep trying to tell y'all, these women are not talking to God. They are talking to their ego. And their ego is leading them astray. God would never lead you astray. And the fact that y'all keep putting this on God, it's disrespectful. I talk to God every day. Hell, I'm going to talk to God tonight. Because what the hell? Ain't no way. God is not talking to y'all. Y'all are talking to y'all's ego. And the fact that y'all don't know the difference is really sad. It's really sad. It's really sad. I'm going to be talking to God tonight. I don't know who y'all going to be talking to tonight, but I'm going to be talking to God tonight. And God is not my ego. I know when it's my ego and I know when it's God. So I don't know. Like, I'm tired of y'all putting the blame on God. God would never lead you astray like this. Absolutely not. Like, this is your ego and that's it. You wanted to see this through for your ego because you wanted to prove people wrong. That's it. This don't got nothing to do with God.
Well, we speak, about court stuff and when I court my lawyers and him getting paperwork on time, and my lawyers will reach out to me like, he's not responding. I'm like, God, and he knows it costs me money. When he doesn't, he still does it. It's so malicious. And so I would reach out to him and be like, every time you don't respond, this is what happens. Please, what can I do? I even told him I would sell you to get things notarized and sent out on time.
Damn, you got to pay the man for the divorce? That's great.
So we talked a little bit in the beginning when I was still going through the healing process of it all. But I haven't seen him since he came to collect the rest of his stuff in January, the first week of January. Okay. I've never seen him again. Okay. Yeah. Whenever we get invited to...
Well, girl, he on Hinge. He probably looking for somewhere else he can stay. So he's on Hinge if you wanted to know where he been up to. Hinge.
And stuff, I write the people and ask who's attending because I want to be sure I don't even run into him at all.
Right. Is he still doing like events and stuff?
I guess whatever he can scrapple together.
Do you think he's wanting like fame? Like, what do you think what were his intentions for all of this?
AD, honestly, girl, if I knew this man's intentions for all of this, it would make me sleep better at night because I even go back and forth on my head if he ever loved me.
Jesus.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Girl, no. Oh my God. Oh my God. These hopeless romantics, y'all. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They did a number on. That man did not love you. He needed a place to stay. He came on there to get famous. He used his acting skills to get on the show. He was playing you from day one. Like, you got to question somebody that wasn't honest with you from day one if he really loved you? Obviously not, because real love would be he would have told you the truth. He didn't even give you the option to choose. He married you anyway, knowing that he didn't give you the option to choose, and you thinking, oh, I'm still trying to question if he loved me. Hell no, he didn't love you like that. He did all of that. He married you and everything because that was all about him. That was not about you. He wasn't even thinking about you like that. He didn't think about how this was going to make you feel, how this was going to make you look. He didn't give a damn about you. Hell no. That's crazy.
I don't know. And it's sad because it was real for me. And I think that he loved me to some capacity, but I think in the way that he knew how and he doesn't know how. So he just gave me whatever tidbits he could, bare minimum, right? And I think that maybe he wants to know how to love, but he doesn't. And he presented himself as someone who did.
Yeah, we need a motive.
Yeah,
you did that for
I have
months.
no idea. He tells me, he's like, he didn't expect to meet me in the process. He jumped at the chance when they, reach out to him, but he didn't expect to get married. He didn't expect to meet. He didn't expect to fall in love with me, allegedly. And I'm just like, I even asked him, like, did you ever love me? But again, it's coming from the mouth of who?
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I'll never know. Oh, that's very unsettling because you will never truly know if he went on there for fame, if he really did meet me by chance.
You're asking or you're wondering about a pathological liar loves you. Sis, are we okay? Are we okay? Yeah, she's not officially divorced yet. Yeah, we already know that. We already know she's not officially divorced yet. She's still going through the process, which is why I don't understand why she did this interview. This interview was not a good look and it was stupid. I don't know why she decided to do this. Like, let that divorce get finalized. You already made your statement. You should have left it at that. And like I said earlier in this live, I would have never made a statement until things were finalized. I would have did a tell-all sit down and I would have got paid. Hell, I would have been asking for endorsements, sponsorships. She played her cards all wrong, continues to do so because she's in her ego. She feels like she has something to prove, and she just keep taking L's. Her ego is playing the hell out of her. And she ain't talking to God either. She talking to her ego.
You know, it's funny because before everything went viral, everyone was like, R&B love, Tyler Ashley. Ooh, finally we got one kind of situation. And y'all felt what I felt through that wall. You know what I mean? Like, we were connecting in a very deep and emotional way. And throughout the year of marriage, I felt loved.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, again, there were things.
Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. When they was in the pods, I was... Oh, shoot. Damn, now I gotta rewind it. Damn. They told me... Cause you know, y'all, when it comes to reality TV, I just think it's all bullshit. I ain't even gonna hold you. So when I was watching it, and the pods, they are so boring. That's why I can't do another season of Love is Blind. That pod, all of that, I'm just, oh damn, let me rewind it. I missed it. I be skimming through the pods because it'd be so slow to me. So no. And then things got a little interesting, but I knew Tyler was full of shit after he came out of the pods. Oh, I knew, like, it was just, Tyler just always rubbed me the wrong way. I never liked him. I always thought Ashley was a sweet girl in the beginning, but Tyler, I just, he was a performer. He was just so fake. Like the cross around his neck, the prayer in bed, like it was just bullshit to me. I was reading Tyler down. Like, I was like, this man is full of shit. And she just eating it up. I was just like, girl, he is not all that.
Things that I kind of was like, okay, I didn't sign up for this, but like, I felt he was my friend. That's the thing. If we had nothing, we had a really good bond or so, I thought. But then it comes into play because of who he is. Was he playing a character? Was 100%.
He not? He was.
Who is this man?
The fact that we still can't answer these questions today.
On his whole forehead. It's a huge question mark too. I don't know if he knows who he is.
Do you think you would ever do a sit down?
I hope he doesn't.
Yeah, because what?
I mean, by all means, go ahead, but it's nothing you can say besides, yes, I did this to this woman.
So how?
Girl, he could throw your ass under the bus. What are you talking about?
Does the experience change the way you see love and commitment?
Not at all. It hasn't changed it. You know why?
I'm still hopeful.
Yes, and I've worked on this in therapy a lot because before I went to the show, I was abstinent for a year. And I was really focusing on myself and what I wanted, which is why this sucks so much because I was ripe and ready. Right?
Listen, I know how it feels to get ready.
He caught me in a very vulnerable time where I was in my soft girl era because it's funny, my mom and my friends used to say, I don't give guys wiggle room. Now they the wiggles.
It's
see
strict,
why?
right?
You see why I don't give them wiggle room? That's why I used to be so hard on men. And I tried to be this softer version of myself, but I want to keep her. Just because I gave my love to the wrong person doesn't mean that my love is not top tier.
Being soft for a man that you don't even know like that is diabolical. It's diabolical. He caught you in your soft girl era. Girl, you didn't know that man like that. You was physically attracted by him and you instantly got soft over that. That's why. You was attracted. You was physically attracted, and the sexual attraction was there and you gave in because you didn't have any self-control or self-discipline. Let's be real about that. Let's be real about that. Because I'm being dragged on my Instagram right now. Girls talking about, you have to be barren. And it's all coming from women that don't have no damn self-control. You telling me that every little man that comes swinging your way, you spreading it wide? You don't have no sexual discipline. You don't have no self-control. All it takes is an attractive man, some charm, and you sold. You have no discipline at all. Okay. So that's all it takes. And see, this is why men do what they do. This is why men perform. This is why men lie. Because they know that's all it takes. They know you going to open them legs, pop them right on open. Because all they got to do is fake it. All they got to do is lie. All they got to do is tell you everything that you want to hear. Tell you sweet nothings. Literally, sweet nothings. And you just ready. You hot and ready. How? How? It's just crazy. Okay. You're not even seeing who this man is. You're not even seeing if his words match his actions. You're not even seeing if he's going to show up consistently. You just hot and bothered. You ready. Okay. And y'all wonder why men lie, and you wonder why men perform, and you wonder why men manipulate, and you wonder why men play mind games, because they know it's that easy.
I know the love that I give, and so I don't want to give him that power to change that.
Yeah. So you still feel
I truly love love, you know, and I know that there's someone out there for me because of how I love and love my family and love my friends and love strangers, you know, so I can't. Tyler has taken enough from me. He can't take that
one more time for the people in the bed.
He cannot take that as well.
Do you think there's anything you would have done differently in your relationship or how you handled the breakup?
So during my many spirals, I was just like, I coulda. I had to stop doing that too, because until they come up with a time machine where I can do something about it, you know, if they did, first one on there, no matter the price. You know, take me. But until they can do that, I had to really say, in that moment, I did what my heart told me to do, and I think that it's not productive to think about like what I should have did. What I will say is, what I've learned and what I'll take to other relationships is be careful with your empathy. Your empathy has to have boundaries. I'm a very empathetic person, and I think that he played on that with all of his sad stories.
But you didn't have no empathy with them kids?
How he grew up and all these things. And so if I could do any minor thing differently, it would be to protect my empathy. Because I have a genuinely pure heart. Like, we all know the good traits about ourselves, and that's one of them. So no, I wouldn't have done anything differently, even though, I mean, if I could,
Yeah. In my opinion, we've heard enough about Tyler.
Yeah.
Let's take an exhale. Proud of you.
Thank you.
What is bringing you joy or helping you heal in this new chapter?
So I think...
You know what's really rubbing me the wrong way when it comes to AD? She fake as hell. She is fake as hell. I'm proud of you. Girl, stop being fake to this girl. Stop. I can't stand girls like this. I can't stand girls that just be fake as hell. Just fake. Just phony. Just telling her whatever she wants to hear. Like, it's so ridiculous. Like, you're not being a real friend. Like, you're just being a fake friend because at this point in time, it benefits you. The only thing AD is showing her in this video is pity. That's it. Like, oh, we're talking about your situation, but I'm in this marriage, I'm in this relationship, I just got engaged, or whatever the case may be when it comes to her relationship, and here I am showing you pity on my platform, and I'm just over here kissing your ass. Girl, I'm just so proud of you. It's just so fake. It's fake as hell. Like, oh my God. Like, I just cannot stand that. And this is why those women empowerment brunches, it's why they not successful. It's too many fake women like, oh, I'm so proud of you. Hey, bestie, I'm just so proud of you. I love everything that you do. Hey, bestie. Oh, I cannot stand that. Oh, I just cannot stand that, y'all. That's what it gives. That's what AD gives. That's what it gives.
I think one of the smallest things that women can do is just put on a face and go outside. You know, I know that seems
a little mascara.
Yeah, just a little something, gloss, and just remember who you are. So doing that, hanging with friends, updating my home, just anything that can make me feel renewed. And then the biggest joy that I have right now is I got a puppy.
Come on, puppy.
Yes, and I picked her up this week, actually.
Oh, what kind?
She is a miniature poodle. She's so cute, and it's funny. I got a call from the woman who is raising her and her sisters, and she said that she had a heart murmur. And I was like, oh no. She's like, I can offer you another puppy. I was like, I don't give up. No. She's like me. We're strong, resilient. So resilient. Aww. And so I'm really excited for her because I love dogs, but every dog I've ever had was someone else's. Like my mom's, my ex got us a dog. I let him keep him. And then Tyler, had Kobe. And so now.
My whole point is you can't be a girl's girl and be fake and phony. How are you watching your sister's back and you being fake and you being phony? How are you watching? How do you have your sister's back if you lying to her or you sugarcoating her situation? You don't have your sister's back like that. Like, people really think that being honest with a person makes you a hater. Being honest with a person, being truthful about their situation, and you really are looking out is just that's not you being a girl's girl. Being a girl's girl, it just means that you enable women and their bullshit, even when they're wrong. And then you're not honest with them when it comes to their situation. So you enable their downfall too. You are a supporter when it comes to them ruining their lives, when it comes to these men or anything that goes on in their life that could potentially ruin it. You're a supporter of that. That's why when you look at women that got chaos in their life, when you look at women that are having like misfortune, or they have like a lot of drama going on, they always have supporting roles where you will see women that stand around them and support them, but their whole life is a mess. And it's because of the women that are around them are enablers, but they support the bullshit. They support it. They're like, oh, girl, it's going to be okay. Knowing damn well that they need to have a serious talk with her about how she keeps ending up in situations like this. But instead, she doesn't give it to her like that. She's like, oh, girl, like everything's going to be okay. And then she'll come back and it's the same story over and over and over again. Those are not your real friends. They like seeing you in that position. And this is when you always know you around some fake and phony women, is when you decide to be accountable and you decide to level up. And then they want to knock you back down to where you were before, because they never wanted to see you come up from where they had you, which is why they kept giving you the advice that they were giving you. Because if you were to actually do better, they wouldn't have nothing to gossip about. They wouldn't have nothing to talk about. They wouldn't have nothing to give you advice about and make themselves feel like they got all the answers, because their relationship is perfect, but your relationship isn't. That's how women are. That is how women are. I'm telling you. And so, yeah, you always find if you are the type of woman where your life is nothing but chaos, you keep taking loss after loss after loss, and then you have a bunch of friends around you, they support that. They support how your life is just not going the way that you want. They support the fact that you're not doing better. They support the fact that you can't level up from where you're at. They like that. They like seeing you, and they like looking down on you like that. That's why they keep giving you the most shitty advice. That's why they're not honest with you. That's why they like you keep coming back to them, and there's no good updates. Only bad news. Only bad news. Only bad news. And to the point where they get so addicted to your bad news, it starts to make them feel better about their own lives. You got to be careful.
No matter where I go, she comes with me.
Yeah. So what do you hope to leave behind in all of this?
Just all of the misconceptions about me, because I can't digest that anymore.
Oof, they
especially
do.
if they aren't true. If they were true, I would need to work that out in therapy and figure out how I could be better. You know, if I was this evil stepmom, if I was all of the things that they tried to make me be. But I have to leave that and the idea.
She does not want to see herself as a quote unquote bad person. And it's not about you necessarily being a bad person. It's you making bad choices. But when your ego is so damn big, the only thing you're concerned about is looking like a bad person. No, you made bad choices. You decided to make bad choices. It doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. And this is why I'm saying, like, all these women that are going through it right now that we're witnessing, it's because they have this ego, and they're being forced to go through an ego death. Put your ego down and deal with the shit that you were out here doing, and stop hiding behind your ego. Like, it ain't helping. It's making you look crazy, and you're ruining your life. Not only that, you're ruining your reputation. You're ruining your image. People are starting to look at your character like, girl, who are you? You don't have good character. And it's all because of your ego. Oh, listen, it's looking like it. It's looking like it. But again, earlier in this live, right, I said it's so interesting, because I always get backlash when I say this. It's so interesting how the righteous always end up in relationships with the narc. And the righteous tend to be covert narcissists, and the narc tends to have that God complex. So it's somewhat, y'all, it's believable to me. When you can't own your wrongdoing because of your ego, it sounds like narcissism. You may not be a narc, but you have some narcissism in there somewhere, because it's just like, why can't you own up to the fact that you were wrong? It doesn't necessarily make you this horrible person, but your actions were horrible. Your actions and your behavior was wrong. That's just a fact. Why can you not own that?
Idea that people are walking around like Tyler. I can't allow the next man to pay for his mistakes. I still have to give people, clean slates now.
clean slate with an Ashley.
Clean slates with, be careful. Like, I do have a little third eye open for you now, but I have to
Oh my goodness.
just release all of the things that
narc tendencies.
the social media
has
because if you don't, you'll begin to believe them. And that's just not who I am. And,
right.
I think that one of the wisest things that we can do is take your mistakes and take your, the knowledge you've learned from an uncomfortable situation, a crazy, insane situation, and learn from it. And that's where I'm at with my healing journey. It's like people either, want to give me the benefit of doubt or they don't, and so I just have to release that.
Are you doing any more shows?
It depends.
It depends. You're open?
I'd be open to doing another show.
Yeah. Dating.
We need a better lineup of men.
Come on.
But I would be.
So Ashley, you go through all of this over this one man, and you're saying that Jesse was out here clout chasing. And what are you doing behind all of this? You want to go on another reality show after you just went through what you went through? After the producers lied to you? After they played in your face? You want to go on another reality show? It's giving she with the shit, y'all. Like, it's still giving that she's with the shit. She with whatever. She just, I'm disgusted. I'm still disgusted.
Show.
Yeah.
I mean, let's try this again.
Oh,
yeah.
That would be a cute title for a spinoff.
Right?
Hello. Is there anything that you want to clear up that you feel?
That's what it seemed like. It's like she didn't learn nothing from this situation. She's talking about, I've been healing for 6 months. No, you've been hiding for 6 months. That's what you've been doing. You ain't been healing. Because you haven't even come. When you heal, like a lot of people always wonder, like, what is healing? Healing is reflective. It's not, I need to heal my broken heart. No, healing is reflective. Healing is shadow work. Healing is being able to introspect and take a step back from the situation as a whole and look at it from a different point of view or perspective. And then changing and forgiving and releasing. That's what it means to heal. Like everyone talks about, I'm healing. But it's like, it don't seem like that's what y'all doing. It just seems like you're taking a step back. You're giving yourself pity because you're trying to baby your ego. You're not really facing what came from the experience. And you can't say you're healing if you're not being reflective and introspective about the situation as a whole.
Like maybe you want to leave with the people that you want to say that you haven't gotten a chance to say, or maybe that's been on your heart to be like, listen, this is the period to that story. Like, let's end it off on this note.
If I had to say anything to just close this out, it would be just humanize me for a moment and put me in your shoes. Not saying you would have made the decisions that I made, but
she sounds like a manipulator. Just humanize me for a sec. She sounds like a manipulator. She sounds like a liar. She sounds like, why would you think I would do that to you? Just believe me. Why would you assume that I would say something like that or do something like that? It's just very manipulative. It's either you put your truth out here and you let your truth be known and you let it be heard and you leave it at that. But to manipulate the public and say, just humanize me for a sec. It's just weird to me. We shouldn't have to force ourselves to humanize you. Your truth should be humanizing in itself. But see, you didn't sit up here and tell us the truth for real. You kind of skirted around it. You had more smoke for Jessie and her platform. You had more smoke for Ricky. You had more smoke for Simone. But at the end of the day, they are the ones that brought you that truth about those kids and their last name. And you wouldn't even have that information if it wasn't for them. But you want to villainize them when this man ruined your life. Ruined not only your life, but your reputation, your image.
Think of me as your homegirl, right? In that instance, the love you
Hell
guys
no.
given me could have really helped me, in a really, really, really chaotic time. And I think that if you are going to do this for said celebrity in the future, to just be mindful of your delivery, because people think that the things they say and just send, like I've even had people who I clap back at and they say, I'm sorry, I don't think.
Ashley, it didn't matter how Jessie would have worded it or said it. You were still going to take that man's side. Do not sit up here and gaslight us and try to make it seem like if Jessie would have just said it nicer, if she just would have said it in a tone that I would have received it. You are a lie. You are a lie. The truth is not in you. You are a lie. We all know. Jessie could have said, well, Ashley, I was just wanting to come to you and let you know about things that have been coming out about Tyler. So no, you would have taken whatever side at that time, the mind set that you were in, like the mental space that you were in, you were gonna take whatever came with that man. It didn't matter how Jessie said it, how Ricky said it, what tone they used, how it was worded. You was 10 toes down for this man, and now you look like a fool. And so now you want people to humanize you and your experience. Hell no, we are not doing that. You got yourself in this situation, and then your friend is just, she not helping your situation at all. She not. AD is not. So no, you need to face everything that came with what you decided to do. And this was just not a good interview at all. It makes you look worse. It does. It does not make you look any better. It just seems like you haven't learned anything at all. At all. And seeing how it's only been 6 months since you decided to divorce this man, even though it's not even finalized, I'm just not buying any of this in this interview at all. I don't think this girl has learned at all. I don't think that she feels that she did anything wrong at all. She just thinks that she should be able to get away with it because he's the liar and I'm not. But you went along with it. You enabled his behavior. You supported what he was doing during that time. You could at least be accountable about that.
They expect
Yeah.
it to affect you,
Yeah.
and so just be more mindful. I was navigating an impossible situation,
100%.
in the best way that I knew how, and I was always going to leave when I found out what I needed to find out for myself, right? If I found out what I needed to find out for myself, and
I was always going to leave, but I didn't want to divorce this man. Your lies are not making sense.
and I think that the things that they were saying, I'm desperate, in the most humble way.
Right, desperate for
what?
Right, we're good.
I bagged men
Yeah,
before this.
we're
Like,
good.
that was never the reason why I went on Love is Blind. I went on Love is Blind for a shakeup, because why not?
Right.
It's like,
Is this about bag? Y'all, I'm egotistical. Like, egotistical. I bagged men before this. Is he good? Are we talking about good quality men or just a man? Because since it ain't hard to bag a man, oh my God, all you got to do is put some food out. All you got to do is put some dog food out. They come running. That's all you got to do. Like, y'all trying to, I bag men. Women who say they bag men, you don't bag men like that. And if you do, it's not good quality. That's how you ended up in a marriage with a man that you had to lead, that you had to build up. Talking about, I bag men. What kind of men do you be out here bagging?
oh, you're a bird. I've never been referred to as a bird in my life. The closest thing I've been referred to as a bird is when people call me fly.
You ain't had no real people around you to tell you the truth about your mindset. That's all. You just be having people support your foolishness. That's why. You ain't never heard, I've never been called a bird before in my, well,
That's the only thing, And so it's like, just be mindful of the labels that you're giving people from a scenario that you're looking at from the outside in, right?
Yeah, and maybe let's not take it on as a personal attack.
let's all be clear. Ashley was labeled a bird because she decided to support a deadbeat. So what do we call women who support a deadbeat? What do we call women who allow a man to lay up under them, lay next to them at night, and they're not taking care of their kids? What should we call you? What should we call you? That's why you got the name. You got the name bird. He got the name deadbeat. That's where it came from. So you got deadbeat and a bird in a relationship together, in a marriage together. That's what you decided to, like, come on now. That's why you got that name, is because you decided to lay up with a deadbeat. And so you decided to protect and defend a deadbeat. That's why you got called a bird. That's where that came from.
Battle.
Take it on as a personal
This is
battle,
not
break it
your
up
fight.
into someone that you really know.
Right,
You know what I mean?
It's not a fight.
And I think at the end of the day, if you can give me that grace, great. If you can't, I'm sorry. I think I'm an amazing person. Thank you. Someone who met me at Target for 5 minutes could tell you that, you know? And it's like they saw something and they crusaded behind it. And I just think that people should be more.
That girl that met you for 5 minutes in Target, she don't know you like how we know you. We sat back and watch you support a deadbeat on national television that had tattoos of these kids' name on his body.
More mindful moving forward.
I agree.
Ooh.
I said it once. I'll say it a zillion times. I think you're amazing.
Thank you.
You're so loving, great energy, so educated, so beautiful. So I already know. Next time I see you, you're gonna be like, hey, girl,
Period.
are you dating?
I'm not dating right now. I wanted to take the time to actually go through all this, heal, go to therapy, and work out all the things. And, you know, like I mentioned, with it being public, I wanted to be sure that men just weren't like, ooh, bait. You know, this is good. Like, she's gonna be a little weak one. The DMs are open now.
Okay.
Yeah, by the time this airs, I would have filed for divorce.
And the DMs are open.
Please, hold on. The DMs are open, but please only come if you're fully cooked.
Come on.
Dessert, drink, side dish,
course.
all of it.
Yeah.
Like, don't come with no nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, contrary to belief, I don't tolerate it.
You're gonna be just fine.
Oh.
You're gonna be just fine.
I know that.
And I need to come to where are you, DC?
I'm Virginia, but
Virginia.
I'm right there.
I need to come.
Please.
We've been saying this for a very long time.
Girl,
Yeah.
we could just kick back, get a brunch.
You know I'm in LA now.
I know.
I am here. I am a resident.
Forever.
Well, for now.
Yeah.
'Cause, girl, I'm trying to go to London.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To live?
Yeah.
Is that exclusive?
No.
I was gonna say, really?
No, we're gonna stay here for a little bit and then eventually make our way to London. But
Okay.
yeah.
Nice, from Charlotte to LA.
Yeah, I'm here. But this has been such a blessing having you here. And I do want to just thank you because I know this is not easy. Like, we laugh and we kiki a bit, but this is real.
Yes.
A real divorce, a real relationship.
No, let her go out there and date again so she can learn the hard way, because she thinks she can heal with her ego blocking her from really seeing the truth about herself. So the only way she gonna learn, she gonna have to find herself back in the same situation again, because her ego, she just won't put her ego down so she can see herself and how she ended up in this situation and how she ended up being called a bird to begin with. So it is what it is.
Real feelings, real people involved, real children involved, your real life involved. And I just want to thank you for, like, one, feeling comfortable enough to share that with me. I feel really honored. And two, that you're opening up and giving your story and telling people this is my reality, this is my truth. So I'm really grateful for you. And I wish nothing but healing and blessings and opportunities for you because you deserve it.
Thank you. And, you know, I thought to myself, too, I was like, when I went on the show, I thought that my reason for being on the show was to show people that we're not a monolith and that we can be anything and that we're multifaceted. But now I think that my purpose for going on the show, even through all of the heartbreak and heartache, was to show women how to be resilient and how to rise up, you know, and how to still remain classy while doing it. So
And like,
Like, classy, girl, you was a doormat. Like, what are we talking about? It did. This is crazy. They could have kept this. This is a bad look.
goes on.
and also, like, no matter what anybody says, you know, I got out. And some people don't get out. Some people stay for 20 plus years. And so
You got out because of Jessie and her platform. You got out because of Jessie. You got out because of Ricky. You got out because of Simone Redwine. How else were you going to get out? How else? If it wasn't for Jessie, and if it wasn't for Ricky, and if it wasn't for Simone, none of this information would have been available to you. How else were you going to get out of that relationship? Because the only reason why Bride decided to speak out was because of Ricky, Jessie, and then Simone took it all the way home with her research. So you was going to stay. If that information wouldn't have came out, you would still be in this relationship, and he would still be lying to you, and you would still be going along with it because you would want to still save face. Especially if y'all were getting the sponsorships and endorsements. But see, one thing about Tyler and Ashley, they never got those brand deals. They never got the endorsements that you see those other couples get. So no, she would have been staying in that relationship. She got out because of Jessie and Ricky and Simone.
I think there's power in that. And for anyone going through any scenario that's watching this, if that could help one person, just saying that you have the power within yourself to choose you, then
Oof, girl. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You're on the other side.
I am, and it feels really good to be here.
Yeah.
It is very liberating.
Girl, you on the other side of accountability, baby. You got a long way to go. And let me tell you something. The internet is not, if anything, you just charged the internet back up with this interview. You are on the other side of accountability. First, when you were out here, you were on the side of defending Tyler, right? That was your choice. You was defending a deadbeat. Now you are on the side of accountability, and now the internet is not going to let up. I'm telling you right now. And then you had the audacity to try to attack another black woman that was looking out for you, and those women of color that were providing real information, not lies. See, it would be different if they were presenting lies on that platform, but they was presenting the truth with receipts, with legal documentation. So, girl. And then you got so much smoke for Jesse and Ricky and Simone and all of them. But did you forget about the viewers? Did you forget about the people that actually support the show? Girl, they not gonna let up on. They not. They already saying you didn't take accountability in this interview. AD didn't hold you accountable in this interview, which makes her not credible for any future interviews. It's just a hot mess. It's a hot mess. And listen, at this point, I don't support this. I don't support this behavior at all. I don't support women defending deadbeats. And then I don't support women where the mother of those kids spoke out because she had an issue with how her kids were being labeled. And then you turn around in this interview and you still label those kids. You still just don't know how to not speak on them. If you just don't know what to say, how about you just not say nothing at all? But even the mother's kids came out to defend and protect those kids. And then you still come out and you still label those kids something that she did not want those kids to be labeled. Even out of respect for the next woman, you can't even extend that grace to her, but you want us to extend grace to you. And this is the issue that the internet has had with you this entire time. You want everyone to have empathy and grace for you, but you didn't have no empathy for those kids. You didn't have no empathy for Bri. You didn't have no grace for Bri at all. You didn't even have any grace or empathy for the ex-wife that was attached to the situation when it comes to the oldest child. So listen, it's at this point, it's all on you. Like it's all on you when it comes to how you can fix this situation. But I think the internet is washing their hands with you. Like I think the internet is just, because it's just clear you just have not learned anything, and you're not trying to. You're just trying to swindle your way out of this because it makes you look bad, and you don't want to be accountable about how you were wrong when it comes to your actions and the choices that you decided to make when you were in this situation with this man. And that's just what it comes down to.
After war.
And she thinks it's after war. No, baby, the war just started, because I'm telling you, I don't know what Tyler has up his sleeve, but I have a feeling he has something up his sleeve. Because if this man was plotting against you day one, so you don't know what he was collecting the whole time that y'all were together. I'm pretty sure he's going to try to come out and speak his side of things when it comes to the relationship and what was going on behind the scenes. And if he can throw you under the bus by saying, oh no, she was supporting me through the whole thing, she knew about the kids the whole time, and we came up with this lie to run with, to spin, to Love Is Blind and the producers, and she went along with it. That's all he got to come out and say. He could easily throw you under the bus. So it's going to be interesting to see what all comes from this. I don't think she played her cards right when it comes to this interview at all. It's just a bad look. It's a bad look. That's all that I have regarding this video, y'all. Y'all let me know what you think down below in the comment section. I just can't support this. I can't support women supporting or protecting deadbeats. Like, it just sounds crazy to me. It does. How can we hold men accountable if you have if you have women right there backing them and defending them? Like, how can we hold men accountable if you got the pick-me's and the mammies standing there with their hands on their hip like, not my man. My man wouldn't do that. And you don't even know the man like that. And you just like, you're not about to come at my man like that. How are we supposed to hold the men accountable if you got women doing that? Just desperate. Y'all have a nice night. I'm going to have to go watch the live that Jesse and them did. And if I watch the live and there's anything else that I want to talk about, maybe they brought up something that was something I just want to talk about, then I will. But I'm just disappointed in AD. I'm disappointed in Ashley. Y'all just making us look just horrible. Look horrible. Horrible. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day. I'll see y'all in my next one. Good night. Good night.